We're live already?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. Hey, fuckers. What are you doing? Listen, do you need a website? Build it yourself. Don't be a lazy bitch. You can do it. Or normally I would say you can't do it. But you can do it if you go to Squarespace. I know you're saying, Joe Rogan, I'm stupid. Of course you are. I'm stupid too. We can be stupid together. It's all right. Trust me. You can make this happen. Go to squarespace.com and check out how easy it is to create your own custom website. Custom images and content. You can choose from over 20 badass designs. If you need help, they offer 24/7 super fast email support and live online chat support. It's very easy. So easy that I can make a website. Me. And you can too. It used to be that you had to learn how to code or learn how to use some fucking wonky ass program that would make you want to pull your hair out if you have any. But nowadays, you can just go to squarespace.com, hook that shit up yourself. They're so confident that it's an excellent way to create a website that you can do it without even using your credit card. You can go there, just try it out, no credit card needed, start building your own website, and then if you decide you like it, then use the code Joe and the number 8. Oh yeah, we forgot weed.
Weed, man.
Fuck, this is all the weed we got?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a joint. Thank God nobody could see us. You want some of this?
I'm good. Thank you, sir.
It's so easy you could do
You
it.
know, do you know how to roll one of these things? Do you know how to use this?
I will.
Can you do it? You can do this?
Yeah.
Jamie, do this while we're talking.
I can't believe we forgot.
Yeah,
It's been so long. You've been
I know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
away.
There should be weed in there. If there's not, we're fucked. Figure it out. If there's not, we'll go sober for once. We'll halfway sober. Squarespace starts at just $8 a month, including a free domain name if you sign up for a year. So go squarespace.com, use the offer code, all one word, Joe and the number 8. That's Joe, the number 8, all one word. Save yourself 10%. It is an excellent resource if you want to create a website. I can't recommend it enough. You can use, the site will look great on any device, iPad, iPhone, Android. They got it hooked up. And you can also create your own online store like that. It's super easy. Brian has literally created dozens of websites while we've done these ads. It's so easy. Connected accounts. You can easily connect to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that other stupid shit. Instagram, Google, blah, 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 blah. Go to squarespace.com. Use the code Joe8. Save yourself some cash, you dirty bitches. As far as comedy dates coming up, we got a lot. My show is done, and so I'm back on the road, sweet bitches. Brian, you said you're doing something with the great Tom Segura and the great Christina Pazitsky in Columbus?
Yeah, we just went on sale. We're doing a super show out there. Tom Segura, Christina Pazitsky, Tony Hinchcliffe, and me at the Woodlands Backyard in Columbus, Ohio. And the day before, me and Tony are going to be in Arizona at Stand Up Live. So you can go to deathsquad.tv for all the tickets.
Nice. And Arizona, that place is fucking awesome. Yeah. And huge.
Huge.
600 people. I'm scared. You should be scared. You should always be scared.
It's a hard thing to fill up.
Should be scared. That keeps you on your feet. Keeps
Yeah.
you sharp, son.
Yeah.
This weekend, August 30th, I'll be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin with Mad Flavor, a.k.a. Joey Diaz. And this Wednesday night, we're at the Ice House. Wednesday night, 10 p.m. I haven't booked any people on the show yet, but it'll be me and a bunch of people from town. So it's always great comics. We have a lot of people that are funny as shit that live in this area. So go there and get your freak on. HirePrimate.com is restocked, so all the new shit, the Run JRE shirts that you see me wearing on Joe Rogan Questions Everything, and you know, all the ones that I've worn on this show as well. The gas mask, monkey, chimp shirt, all that stuff. Higher Primate is my t-shirt company. It's all just monkeys and psychedelics, the things that I'm interested in most, other than you people. I love the fuck out of you guys. We're also brought to you by Onnit.com. That's Onnit. If you haven't been there a while, we have the new Gorilla kettlebells in. We also have an orangutan on the way that I just got. I got it at home. It's fucking dope-alicious. We got this Primal Bell company. We're expanding this line, but it's quite complicated because we've decided to make these really dope-looking kettlebells with these designs in them that are also functional and balanced. So if you get I know there's other companies that have designs that they put in kettlebells, but what they didn't do is make it so that the kettlebell is perfectly balanced. I think it's a very important thing if you're swinging around these big, heavy fucking iron things. You want to make sure that there's not some imbalance in the way you use it. That would kind of defeat the purpose of having a kettlebell. It should be not just functional or not just beautiful, but functional as well. So if you go there and you can check out all the different fitness equipment we have, battle ropes, steel maces, steel clubs, ab wheels, so you can get yourself a sexy six-pack like TJ Dillashaw, bitch. We got medicine balls, all that good shit, as well as a fuckload of supplements, including, of course, Alpha Brain and Shroom Tech Sport. You ever use the Shroom Tech Sport, Ray?
Yes, sir.
It's the shit.
I love all that stuff.
T Plus to get your pecker all ready for action. Go to onnit.com, use the code name Rogan, and save yourself 10% off any and all supplements. And then it's a beautiful website, too. It's fucking a lot of cool shit there.
T Plus does give you boners, right?
Fucking it does.
Really?
Absolutely increases testosterone.
And you're allowed to drink on this because I've noticed you can't do boner pills and alcohol lately, so I've been having a bad
You can't?
time. No. So
Why not?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's something
Does it
bad for your
work?
heart. I think because it takes all your blood and puts it in your dick, and then like your heart's like, hey, I don't have enough blood to deal with this Jack Daniels.
This is science by Red Band. Yeah, well, you can see Red Band doing a TED conference. Basically, it takes all the blood and puts it in your dick, and your heart just explodes or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I just read it, so I kind of freaked out because that was like the best combo ever, Jack and
You can
boner.
still do it.
Yeah.
Listen, you're doing a lot of shit that's bad for you.
Right.
Alcohol itself is fucking terrible for you. It's not like it's a vitamin, you know? You drink it until you black out 4 nights a week, and you're worried about what boner pills are going to add to the equation?
Well, I just want to know if T Plus will give me the same kind of rock hard boner.
Listen, I don't know what you did in the past life, but you're almost fucking 40. You look like you're 12, and you're getting hammered every night. You got great genes. Don't worry about it. Just take a multivitamin every now and then if you remember, and keep riding till the fucking wheels fall off. Don't worry about it, bitch. We're here for a long time. Don't worry. I talked to Ray Kurzweil. It's all going to work out. All right, freaks. Duane Ludwig, TJ Dillashaw, both are in the building right now. Enough with the commercials. We're trying to shorten them down for your amusement. So there. That's the end. And
No, there's one.
there's one more?
The Joe
DwayneBangLudwig.com or
Rogan
DwayneBang.com?
DwayneBang.com.
DwayneBang.com, bitches. Go there. Buy some sweet-ass shirts like
My
this
man.
one here. Hit it.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
It's actually better if you ever have anything to promote, if you promote it after the music, because that's when it goes on Sirius.
Yeah.
Because Sirius takes all the shit before the music and just puts it out there somewhere. I don't know what they do with it.
Serious secret.
They throw it away. Sometimes our best work was done before we even get started.
So then, where do they go for those sweet ass shirts you're wearing?
They go to DwayneBang.com, bitch. I'm wearing an affiliate. Bang Muay Thai. Dwayne and TJ and I just got back from a garage training session, old school, like Gracie in
badass.
action,
That was sweet.
1993. Yeah, I got Matt set up in my garage. We had a sweet workout. That was fun, man. Really
That's
cool.
a badass setup you have.
You're really enthusiastic, man. I could tell you're like really enjoying this transition from being a professional fighter to being a professional coach. And for folks who don't know, Dwayne, for a long time, had fastest knockout in UFC history. They tried to deny you, but we would not let them.
Yeah,
we
good
forced
man.
that shit down their throat.
That was awesome.
They were trying to give it to Todd Duffy, who had a very fast knockout, no doubt about it. It was pretty close. But you still had him. You edged him. But the referee fucked up. You know, they gave it to you like 10 seconds, but it was really like 6.
Well, on
Right?
on the clock it said 4, but the
4?
the bout the duration of the bout is from the bell sounds until the ref says start or fight, and then to one of the refs or to the ref touches one of the opponents.
Right. So from start to touch, that's what we count?
Correct.
Okay. So even if the bell rings before, so they start, does the bell ring in the beginning?
Boxing it used to.
Doesn't with
I don't
MMA,
think
right?
I
They
don't
just
think
say
so,
fight.
MMA. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. How
I'm
the
too
fuck do I
nervous to
not
pay
know?
attention.
Do you-
Who cares?
Why don't we hear him? I don't hear TJ. Here we go. Try it again.
Yeah, I'm usually too amped up to even hear a bell.
How much do you hear when you're out there? Do you hear Dwayne in your corner cheering it?
Yeah, I can hear Justin Buckles usually the most because he's real loud. He's always in my corner, and then Dwayne as well. Yeah.
So that's all you hear, just that, and then the rest is just noise.
For the most part, I mean, you can hear like when the crowd gets excited, you kind of hear that, but
Right.
you don't pay attention to it. You know, you just kind of try to focus in what you're supposed to.
Have you ever been in a fight where they booed?
No.
That's a weird moment, right? When dudes are not doing anything and you know that they can hear it. You know, because it's never a boo during a wild scramble, right? No. And the wild scrambles, I would imagine, the ones where you would have the least memory of what the fuck is going on, like sound-wise. You're so like tuned into it, right?
So what you asked me is we hear them booing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard them boo for sure, 100%. Yeah.
Do you feel responsibility when you hear that? Like, what's your feeling?
A little bit. It just depends on the game plan and the fight and what's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, because sometimes the game plan can be to just sit back, let him come to us, you know, let him boo. I don't give a fuck. Let him
right,
boo.
right,
Let
right.
him come to me, run into something stupid. That's sweet.
So it could be like who's gonna crack first, like who's gonna give in to these boos and do something stupid that gets off of their game plan.
And that's the main thing with these fighters and myself is to control our own emotions. Because if we don't control us, how are we going to control them initially?
Right.
So, and that's just one of those things. If the crowd's going to boo and make this guy make a stupid mistake or to finally come in or come into our game plan or whatever the scenario may be, then sweet. Let the crowd dictate what he's going to do. Hopefully he makes a mistake. Let him run to us. We keep our composure. We stick to the game plan. We adjust on the fly. We make things happen.
You know, I'm an unusual MMA fan in that I've probably seen, like live, I've seen, more than 1,000 fights and had to call them. So I've been involved in so many different scenarios, so many fights, watching it play out, like classic, all-time great MMA fights I've had the honor to call. But I am different in that I like boring styles, man. I like a dude who takes no damage and smothers guys and just imposes his will. Like, a lot of people used to give John Fitch a hard time. I swear to God, John Fitch is one of my favorite fighters to watch. And people will yell at me. They're like, you fucking idiot. He's ruining MMA. Or Ben Askren. Same thing. Ben Askren's one of my favorite fighters to watch. Because Ben Askren's a fucking glove. He just wraps a hold of you. That's real, okay? He's stifling really exciting, energetic strikers. I mean, like, who is his, was that fucking guy that he fought? The fucking hardcore striker recently. He fought this Russian dude, and then before it, he fought that guy that Vice did a piece on him. Lyle, what the fuck is his name?
I have no idea.
God damn it. I'm not up on
sure.
Bellator. It's too much to pay attention to. I'll find the gentleman's
Dude,
name.
Askren's got to be so strong, man. That guy's got to be like unbelievably strong.
Well, it's not just strong. He seems to always be in the right place.
Yeah.
Like his positioning is so, and it's also his paths are so weird. Like usually when I'm watching a guy roll, like say, like here's a real easy example of a guy's like a blue belt on the ground, and I'm watching his transition from like takedown to like making a mount, or trying to make a mount, or trying to get side control. I can see what he's doing. I see it real obvious. But with Askren, I'm like, why is he grabbing? Oh, that arm. Oh, what the fuck? How did he get there? It's like he's doing this weird shit. He's like going behind guys and getting underhooks on their back arm and fucking wrenching them in weird ways and tying their legs up. And he's always in a weird spot, so you can't have this motherfucker off you.
If you watch any of his wrestling matches, 100% that way. He was like nothing like super technical, but a funky guy. Like he did everything funky.
Well, I think it is technical. It's just technical in his way.
Exactly.
And so it's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like super successful at it. It's not like he's just this guy that's sort of making up karate. Like we've all seen those kung fu videos where dudes are just making shit up. I've gotten them mad at me before.
I make up shit all the time.
But I mean, this is a different kind of making shit up. Like a guy throws a punch. Well, right here I attack the liver with a monkey paw. And they're like talking about different techniques that they do where you can tell literally while they're doing it that they're making it up as they go along.
You should have done the show on that, Joe. I can't believe you didn't do
On
a whole
fake
episode
kung fu?
of fake kung fu. That would have been fun as fuck.
Well, I think if we did a second season, that is one I would want to do. Those dudes who do the crazy touches.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen the videos of the kung fu masters who just throw people through the air with their hands?
Yeah.
There's a ghetto one where there's this dude, and I don't know what it is, but he's a very ghetto looking character. I mean, not just because he's black, but just the way he's black. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, the whole thing is it's a ghetto environment. I mean, he's not in Idaho, okay? And he's throwing these kung fu moves at these people, and he's got them shaking, like exaggerated, like wobbling back and forth, like they're getting hit by a pulse from a movie. And you're like, what is going on here? Are they crazy? Like, is this mass hypnosis? Is this just a big scam? Or does he really have magic power? Like, those are the possibilities. I had a guy on this week's episode of Joe Rogan Questions Everything who said that he can make people fart in church. Is that he reverses the net? He was hilarious. The guy was fucking hilarious. But he stood there, and at one point in time, he said he could get me to move back and forth with his mind. And he like tried to get me to. I'm not going to tell you if it worked or it didn't work. It didn't fucking work. Of course, it didn't work. The fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ! I couldn't lie to you like that. But the dude like was convinced that and while he was doing it, I was like, what if I just give in to this guy and start moving? And I can't believe I'm doing it. Like, what if it's. I had to like stand firm. I had to make sure. I'm like, I'm not fucking going anywhere. This shit is not working on me. But if you were like a person who is easily led, like maybe the type of person who would join a cult, a type of person who like loses themselves in another person's influence, which is a real psychological dilemma. Like the reason why cults work. Like if you look in the newspaper and you hear about some crazy cult where the guy's fucking all the girls and he's got 13-year-old wives and shit and 50 of them. You go, how the hell did that happen? We don't know, but it happens. There's people that just fall under the spell. Yeah. So when you see someone doing that fucking crazy cheese shit and making people fly through the air, it's like, wow, like what's happening here?
Yeah, with I guess going back to like John Fitch and Askren, you just have like not all, we don't know everything, but you have a lot more martial arts information. You understand what's going on. You understand the scenario. People are still stuck in the mind frame just seeing bloody wars. So
well, I admit that I'm very unusual in that I'm more than willing to watch some boring shit if it has a potential of getting exciting. Even if he gets through the entire fight and then like in the third round, dude figures out how to stuff the takedown and lands a big shot. Oh shit, Fitch is hurt. Yeah. Or Fitch gets his back and starts to put him away. If it takes all this like 50% punches for 3 fucking rounds until there's an explosive moment, I like that. Yeah. But I like that because I know that guy, the guy on the bottom does not want that to be happening. But yet it's happening. So that's real. That's why I fucking hate stand-ups. And people be like, man, stand-ups fucking, you got to fucking protect the sport. Sport sucks if everybody's just going to blanket hump. No, that guy doesn't want to get blanket hump. Do you understand that? Yeah. Like, that is real. You can't deny that dude is holding that motherfucker down. You can't deny it. You can't just make him stand up. If it's boring, tough shit, get off the bottom.
I'm in favor of stand-ups. That shit saved me in my casino, UFC 42. If it wasn't for that fucking stand-up, I probably would have lost that fight. So I'm all for the stand-ups.
Well, Dwayne, we should say, world Muay Thai champion, one of the most technical strikers ever in MMA. So of course you love the stand-up. I mean, your ground game's no joke, but you're obviously you have a big advantage. You have a big advantage. You always had a big technical advantage, like Amir from Tough.
Amir
yeah, he's a very good Muay Thai fighter.
Good Thai boxer.
And that fight that you had with him was amazing because it was a perfect example of your technical. Like he fought you in your world. And there was just this clear technique advantage, like the stuff that you were trying to show me today, like about movement and about throwing punches and closing distance and being in the right area and about really small spaces. You leave the littlest, like one of the things you kept saying, put your hands by your face. If you don't, and then my hands will be at your face. Which one would you like more? It's like really simple, but very technical. And that like showed itself in that fight because Amir is very competent. He's a very good fighter. Yeah. But you caught him early. I think it was a left hook. You heard him with a left hook. And then you opened it up. And then from that on, he was like, you were just taking your shots. It was your fight. You were dictating the dance.
Yeah, for sure.
I love watching that, man. I don't need a knockout. I appreciate knockouts, absolutely. But I also appreciate people shutting people down. Yeah. I appreciate when a guy is like, Mighty Mouse, used to get that rap, but it was really just because he was fighting guys like Ian McCall or because he was fighting guys like Benavidez. Like, you're fighting really fucking tough guys. You're not going to put these guys away. Correct. But, we saw in his last fight against Moraga, he's still trying to finish it, like always. And so, like, that fight, like, he beat Moraga for 4 rounds before he finished him, but he still finished him. Like, he was beating him clearly, but he still took him out. If the finish didn't happen, there would be a lot of people that say, "Oh, I don't like watching Mighty Mouse fight. It's fucking boring." But no, that's not boring at all.
It's awesome.
You just got to understand what you're watching art right there.
You're educated though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Guy got hit once.
Yeah.
I mean, literally got caught once. One big shot in the 4th round and worked his way through it with no problem. His nose is fucking bleeding. I mean, Moraga can bang, and he caught that dude right on the chin. So what you're dealing with is like, he's a perfect specimen. He's got everything. He's got technique. He's got heart. He's got intelligence. He always comes in shape, and he tries to finish the fights. He's a fucking champion. I mean, Mighty Mouse is a fucking champion.
Yeah, he's great, man.
But I've heard people say, like, I don't like watching those little guys fight, and they don't even finish that. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just watching the best guys go at it, and a lot of times they neutralize each other because the level of technique is so fucking high. At 125 and 135, TJ, where you fight, that fucking level of technique is through the roof, 100%. Man.
That's a fun thing here at Team Alpha Male right here, but there in Team Alpha Male. You know, everyone's been pointing the finger at me, like I'm the secret pill and everything, but I have world-class athletes, 100% world-class athletes. They don't get any better than these guys, you know. Now they have what I feel is the proper information. So here you go, proper information with world-class athletes. They really have no choice but to get better. It's pretty simple stuff, you know, and just like what we did over the private today, just simple, basic stuff. Now they're understanding what they're doing and why they're doing it so they can branch off from there. But I'm definitely making sure that I'm tailoring to the athlete. I'm not going to make them Duane Ludwig. I want to make them better athletes for themselves, you know. But here's the correct way. Okay, you can make that way work. Okay, you can make it work. Okay, good. You know, let's make it work then. Let's add that to the system. That's your style. Cool, I'll adapt to you. But the same thing like Mighty Mouse. Can you teach somebody to be Mighty Mouse? Some of the aspects, but not all of it. He's got to be his own athlete. We're all individual athletes. Just like your sidekick today and your spinning kicks, world class, you know. And that can be taught. You take 1,000,000 reps, but correct reps as well, and pay attention.
Yeah,
to
people
detail.
have to know what they're doing, and
100%.
they have to do it. It's one of the things that Eddie Bravo always stresses about certain guard techniques. They're like, well, I keep doing it, people keep breaking out of it. Well, when you learn like a wheel kick, you don't learn how to nail people with it every time. Most of the time, you're going to miss. You're going to go, oh, this doesn't work, and then you'll get in there with Uriah Hall or somewhere at that level, and they'll wheel kick you in the face. You go, oh my God, this is the craziest technique ever. It's a guaranteed knockout. I mean, you're literally hitting a guy with your whole fucking body behind a heel. Think how hard your goddamn heel is. I mean, people break their knuckles all the time. You ever break a heel?
No.
No, you don't break your heel. It's a goddamn hammer at the bottom of your foot, and it's carrying your body weight around all day. And the amount of force that you could but it ain't gonna work right away. You got to learn how to do it. It's like everything else. Like you got to do the reps until you get to that black belt level at it. And then like there's some techniques that guys can do in jiu-jitsu, and the reason they can do it, the reason why they go, like if a guy gets a nasty darce, like some people get darces and their arms will burn out and they'll never finish them.
Yeah.
But then there's those dudes that have that fucking razor darce, you know, that whang!
Oh, yeah.
And they clamp that bitch down, and you know you're not getting out of that motherfucker because they put insane amount of reps into it. And so even though the movement may look similar to someone who's not educated in it, when you're watching it, if you know like a guy who really closes off something really good, you go, oh shit, like Marcelo Garcia, if you ever watch him roll with his guillotine.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know anybody could close off a guillotine that quick until I saw him do it. Like Uriah Faber has a nasty guillotine, so does Benavidez. All you guys at Team Alpha Male have sick guillotines. It's like you're known for it. But there's like a 16th of a second quicker that Marcelo will slap it on than anybody. You know what I mean? Whereas like you recognize, like Uriah has a world-class guillotine.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is it's like vice grip. But like you watch him do it and you watch Marcelo and it's like, ooh, he's on another level.
Oh, yeah.
Like this motherfucker's got a 16th of a second quicker closure or something like that. There's like just a little bit of they lock it up like he taps guys that I never see get tapped. Like we're talking about Askren. There's a fantastic video of Marcelo rolling with Askren and just manhandling him. Just tapping him like he would tap, like anybody. And it's crazy when you know how good a wrestler Askren is. You know, there's so many weird levels to this.
That's the thing, like, especially with this level of athletes in the UFC, we're dealing with split seconds and fractions of an inch. Like shit's got to be perfect, but perfect is just having you land that strike and not get hit. You hit and don't get hit, we're good. But we're dealing with split fucking seconds, so that's just the way it's got to be.
What a crazy, exciting job you have.
That's what I love my job. I fucking love it. Yeah, it's like going from I've been training like full bore since I was 15. Now I'm 35, so I've been 20-year career. But I've been training people since I was 19 anyway. And I've always understood the game, kind of broke it down. I've been self-taught a lot. Although like Trevor Whitman, my boxing coach, showed me a lot. Boss Rutan has been like my main contributor to my arts as well. And then I've trained Michael Winklejohn and Greg Jackson and crossed paths with a lot of people, Japan, Thailand, Holland. I trained with Ramon Deckers for 2 weeks, and I've crossed paths with a lot of people. But a lot of my stuff is just self-taught from DVDs and YouTube and the internet. So I've been able to break things down myself because I had to learn it myself. And then teaching people, like I took the pads, gave them to Trevor Whitman, and told him like, this is how to hold pads for me. This is what I need you to look out for. So I taught him to train me. So because of that, and he's an artist. The guy can draw. He's just very detailed, very analytical. So that transferred back over to me. So we were just a good relationship. And then I had another guy, Christian Allen, and that guy is the best mitt holder I've ever seen, ever worked with. That guy can hold some freaking mitts, and he is a ninja. If he believed in himself a bit more, he could be the UFC champion 100%. It's just some guys just have it physically, just not so much mentally. And that's the good thing here at Team Up. These guys are all world-class athletes. The wrestling mentality, I don't have to babysit anybody. They come in, they put in they put in the work, the quality reps, they help each other. Like I was telling you today, we're drilling, we're building the counter eye, looking for the openings before, during, and after there's openings. Where are they at? Let's register them. Let's see the idiosyncrasies. What are they doing when they're nervous? What is their position? I just want to keep them in good position. So there's just a bunch of little small things. It's nothing, no magic pill, just simple basic stuff, reiterating a million times correctly from the get-go. So that's one thing I've learned from Boss, from Trevor Whitman, from all my travels, is to break things down. Because I'm not a super athletic guy, so I've had to learn things from the technical aspect and break them down so that they work for me. Same thing, Eddie Bravo's story. He says he's not, a great athlete, so he had to kind of break things down. But that's another thing too with jiu-jitsu and Thai boxing. Jiu-jitsu is slower. It's a slower paced thing. And then also the mental aspect. You're not getting punched in the face. You can relax a little bit. If you get caught in an arm bar or a triangle, you're going to tap. You have more seconds to respond. You're not going to die. In striking, people still freak out. People don't like to get punched. I don't like to get punched in the face, but it takes a certain human being to go ahead and relax and build that composure. So I can take a guy and show him a technique or a drill or a combination, and then he can spar with it. Well, how about between the mitts and the sparring, that's a pretty big gap. How are we going to deal with that gap?
Yeah.
We're going to do this drill with a little bit of sparring. Okay, now you can punch, but you can't kick. Things like that. We're going to break it down into pieces. We're adding a little bit of heat to the flame, a little bit more, slower and slower. And that's what these guys have great fucking technique and great control. There's nothing why wrestling, people get so good at wrestling because they can relax. They can relax. Then I can't punch in the face. Well, let's not punch them in the face so hard. So I have a million drills for these guys to work with. And it's simple, easy, basic stuff, man. And again, I love my job, and the ADD kicks in, and I jump around my conversations. So it's good, man. Like the podcast
for those who don't understand what you're talking about, as far as mitt work, what mitt work is when a guy holds the pads for you and you hit the pads.
Okay. Correct.
And there's a lot to it. There's a lot to getting a guy to do it correctly. There's a lot to getting a guy that does it in, making you throw combinations that are like realistic combinations that work good or work with you. A guy who can take power shots to the arms. Because, when you're kicking the shit out of fucking pads, guys get bad elbows. I mean, after a while, it goes, right? You have to be strong as shit.
That's one thing I have too is hyperflexion from just being relaxed and receiving kicks and having my elbows just come back too far and then like cross body and half guard, just having my arms just getting swinched. My last few fights I couldn't spar because if a punch came and I hyperflexed my elbows, they would just swell up and they would just hurt.
Wow.
So like the timing and things, it would just slowly diminish because I'm not actually doing the live drilling, the live sparring. So things just kind of dwindled away in my last few fights and just wasn't able to perform to the way I wanted to. Plus the passion and such wasn't really there for fighting, so it was just perfect timing. Blew out the knee, and Uriah texted me, "You want to come train us?" And
was it a situation where you just done it for so long? You're like, I don't have the enthusiasm for this anymore, but yet you still have the enthusiasm for the creative aspect of developing a fighter.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a martial artist. This is what I've done my whole life. I love it. I love living through these guys now. It's just it's a rebirth for me. I'm loving my life.
I love how you're embracing it too. I think it's really cool when a fighter finds something that he can do that's equally exciting, like right after their careers, because that's always been traditionally a real problem for all sorts of professional fighters, whether it's boxers or MMA fighters. There's always been those stories of guys who like live this crazy high life, and then afterwards, like, do you know how many boxers get hooked on cocaine?
No.
It's a lot, man. It's a fucking lot. I mean, obviously, they're partying, and obviously, a lot of these guys are coming from lower income backgrounds, so when all of a sudden they're making millions and millions of dollars, they tend to get a little crazy. But the after effects of like losing all that excitement, like it's gone from your life. Like there's very few guys that will transfer from that into becoming like really good trainers.
Yeah, that's a different scenario than me. I've never made millions of dollars. I still drive a fucking 2006 Scion XB with a cracked windshield and a hole in the seat. I never made $1 million in my last few fights. Like I was contracted with the UFC, it was like 15 and 15. So I was making, I didn't win my last couple fights, so I walked away. After sponsors like 20 grand, and then pay out my percentages. So I never made good money. I've never broken six figures, so it's a different scenario. But that's what I'm glad I have the passion. I can live through these guys, in the cage, just watching them, and having them win. It makes me feel. It just keeps me still relevant in life.
Yeah, I didn't even mean necessarily. I mean, part of it was their success, making the money, but it was also just that they're wild dudes, and then once they lose that ability to get that crazy fix every few months from a fight, it's really hard for a fighter to find something that they can throw their passion into that makes them feel like their life is still, they're still like living their life to the hilt.
Dude, that's one thing about Dwayne, dude. He'll be passionate about anything. I don't care if it's walking down the street. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be the best at it.
Do you hear Mike Passanier from Mike's gym when he was talking about
Mike,
training Alistair Overeem? One of the things he said that I thought was really interesting in like the pre-fight, the Reem, he does those documentaries.
Yeah, those are sweet.
They're badass. Whoever does those is an artist. The music's great. The scenes are really artistically seen. But Mike said, a champion is a champion no matter what he does. When he's tying his shoes, he's a champion. He's champion when he gets out of bed. He's a champion when he brushes teeth. But
exactly.
It's right. Like that mentality, like to really hit the highest levels of something, you have to be like, that's all you accept out of life.
That's how I am. I'm very black and white. I try to do everything. I don't try. I do everything to my full potential with whatever I do. It's just the way I'm wired. It's how I've been. I haven't really taught this. It's just how I am. So I don't know who to thank. I guess our creator, who or me, whatever it is. But I mean, I love everything that I do. It's good times, man.
Well, it's also you've become successful as a martial artist, and you were very successful as a kickboxer and very successful as an MMA fighter. So after all these years of competition, exactly what fighters are going through. You know it. I mean, you're not guessing it. You're not like like putting together game plans based on intelligent decisions, but you haven't been there yourself. You've got both going on.
Yeah, that's what I think helps too here at Team Off From Oath. These guys, they know I've done it. They know I'm passionate. I'm there for these motherfuckers, like 100%. I watch film like a motherfucker. I make sure that when I do game plans or I do drills in the class, it's for this specific guys. We have class with 20, 30 people. I make sure our hour and a half class, 4 or 5 rounds is for this guy, 4 or 5 rounds is for this guy, and I make sure that I game plan, I tailor things. And then also when we do our private lessons, it's specifically for their fight based on what they're already good at. Because they say, okay, TJ's good at these 10 things. His opponent's good at these 10 things. We got to be aware of these. Okay, 5 of TJ's things are going to work perfect for this guy. Well, let's drill the fuck out of those 5 things. So that's one of the things too, like for me specifically, when Boss Fruitin would give me information or a technique or a combo, he'd tell me to do something, I took it to heart 100%. Just like the Goulet fight. I went into that fight with my left shoulder blown out, so the only thing I had was my right hand, so that's why it kind of worked out for my favor.
Well, that's the fastest knockout.
The fastest knockout, yeah, in UFC. So it's just the story behind it. It was just a 2-week notice fight. I wasn't training at all, just up in the mountains doing electrical work. My manager called me, Sven, and he's like, hey, you want to do a fight? And I was like, yeah, sure. What are they paying? 4-on-4. And I was like, fuck, man, that's like 2 months worth of work. Let's go do the fight. So I flew out and trained at Boss, and I was actually trained at the 10th Planet Bomb Squad, the old bomb squad, and I was just working takedown defense. And Connor Hewan, actually, I got double underhooks on a shot, and he took me over his back and blew out my left shoulder. So all I could drill, I drilled kicks and knees still, but just as the right hand. So that's all I was looking for. And the boss was like, okay, he's going to come in, just step off to the side, right hand. I was like, okay, cool. Ding, bell comes, boom. And I'm like, holy shit. Did you see that? Like, there's a photo. There's a photo. Like, I'm punching him, and he's looking away, and I'm like looking at Boss. Not looking at Boss, I'm looking off to the side just because it happened so fast. But, I mean, there's 2 things to that, too. I don't think Goulet took the best punch, and I can hit hard, so there's a couple things to that. And then it was technical, and, I drilled it a million times.
Do you have any regrets? Like when you look back on your career?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I definitely have regrets. My dream from a child was to be, not from a child, I guess when I was 15, 16, when I first started Thai boxing, was to fight for K1, be the heavyweight champion of K1. And I never grew that big, so then just doing Thai boxing, jumping back and forth between MMA and Thai boxing, because just Thai boxing, you can't stay busy in America, or you couldn't anyway. And then K1 created the max, the middleweight, or 70 kilos, 154. And then I actually had on the table at the same time was a K1 contract and a UFC contract. After I fought Genki, that was actually a 1-fight deal, and they offered me a 3-fight deal, and then K1 offered me a deal as well. My dream was always to go to K1, and I went to K1 just because that was my childhood passion. But looking back on it now, I wish I would have stayed with the UFC from the get-go. But, just being stuck in my ways and wanting to do K1 and go visit Japan, it was just one of those things. But going back, I wish I would have rolled and wrestled more, and then just definitely stayed in the UFC. I'd be making more money now. I'd be more well off. It probably wouldn't have an 06 Scion, and I'd probably own a house right now. So, but on the flip side of that as well, if I did own a house, I could rent that, of course. I probably wouldn't have taken the job, here at Team Off From Oath and living through these guys. So it's, I learned the hard lesson of being a 1099 subcontracted employee. And I blew my knee out and had like 3 months worth of pay and a year-long injury. So I'm like, fuck, I was like kind of figuring out what am I going to do. And then Uriah just texted me. He's like, hey, you want to come out and, be our head trainer? And I was like, looking at that. And I was like,
wow.
I tried like one more surgery to go through. And I'm like, fuck, man, yeah.
What'd you do to your knee?
In my last fight with Che Mills, the first 10 seconds, he did an outside trip and blew my knee out, like the first 10 seconds of the fight. So the ACL was completely gone and a bucket handle tear of the meniscus. So like that was gone. So like I'm actually still not 100% healed. Well, I'm supposed to be 100% in a year, and it's almost a year now. So maybe it's happening, but it still swells up. So I'm not even training or anything. I just started holding mitts for these guys about 2 months ago.
So you had a patella tendon graft, right?
Yeah, I used my patella tendon. Yeah,
you can tell by the scar. I've had both of those done. I've had the regular cadaver one and the patella tendon graft.
I shouldn't say oof, but I was statistically speaking, you're supposed to use your own body parts, a lower percentage of rejection.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different. Mine's great, but there's a bunch of different schools of thought on that. I wonder if it's the quality of the doctor. I'm not smart enough or educated enough about medicine to make a real comment about that. But for me, they're both great. They both work great. There's no problems. I had meniscus taken out of the left knee. That's the only difference. It's a little.
And it feels
looser.
good. Do you run much though?
No. Okay. I do elliptical machines. I like to do sprints on elliptical machines. I like to crank it up really heavy. Like put it on depending on whatever it is, like right below the highest level, and just do 30-minute wild man sprints. Like that's what I do, or 30 seconds rather, wild man sprints. That's what I do if I'm in a hotel room and I can't, if there's not a gym there, to just have one of those elliptical machines, you can still get a badass workout.
Those will kill your legs, man.
You just gotta go nutty with it. I just do it like a fucking dragon's chasing me. 30 seconds, and then I take 30 seconds of just breathing. I'm moving, but I'm just breathing, and then I just warm up for 10 minutes and then do that.
I've been doing that in the hotels or wherever you're at, and then people are just looking at you like, "What the hell is this guy doing, dude? Like, it's just an elliptical, man. Chill out." You're training for a fight, just yelling on the machine or sprinting as hard as you can on the treadmill.
He makes me shy when we go work out because I feel like if somebody's having sex next to me.
That's what it's got to be. You got to go for it.
Got to do it. I'm not even preparing for anything. I'm just scared.
There's a lot on the line there,
I'm scared.
The dragon's chasing you.
Yeah, fucking. If I'm lifting weights, I'm lifting like I might die. Like if I don't get this weight up, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it's a different mentality though. These guys they're literally putting their lives on the line when they step in the cage. Like, there is a possibility. Of course, there's a possibility of you getting hit by a car and across the street as well.
Incredibly dangerous job.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I love it, man. It's I loved it when I was fighting. Passion started kind of dwindling away. So it's just perfect timing. Like, things work out for happen for a reason. Whatever. I'm learning to believe and understand that this is my own path and my own career. Although there are some things that whatever you believe and conceive, you can achieve, kind of thing. So. That kind of thing, like that's 100% true. I feel so.
Well, it certainly is with you. It certainly is with me. I always wonder what the fuck is really going on with that. Whether or not you just got lucky and you're just looking back on being lucky, going, well, it's just the world works out for itself. Does it really work out for itself, or is it just you capitalize on whatever the fuck you balance yourself out and you get through it no matter what? It's not that everything happens for a reason. It's just that if you have the correct attitude and you don't get hung up on things, you can succeed. You just keep pushing forward. You find your opportunities eventually and you jump through them. I mean, who's to say that opportunities couldn't have come up that were even better a year ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago? They could have. But it's a matter of when they do or when you create them, capitalizing on it.
Yes, 100%.
And so you were in the perfect position to do that. Like it was perfect. It was a good gig. You know, so it's smart to jump on it and perfect for you.
Yeah, for me, spiritually and anything, just living through these guys now, it's another rebirth and I am the correct guy for this job, man. Like, we're vibing fucking 100% perfect, man. It's awesome. It's a great mix with these guys. They have no problem drilling. I don't have to babysit these motherfuckers. They show up on time. They show respect. They're there to get better. They help each other. Even when they don't have fights coming up, they still come in and help the training partner. Because I'm like, okay, look, today you need to be this guy. Okay, you need to be Clay Guida for Chad Mendez. And then he'll mimic Clay Guida and watch the film and come in and dance around and do his thing just to give us the look of our next opponent. That's the way it's got to be.
Yeah, that's so important.
I don't really have training camps anymore. I mean, I have to get help. I've been training for the last 2 months, helping Uriah get ready. Chad's fighting next week, and Joseph's fighting September 4th. Danny just fought in Seattle. So I've been helping everyone get ready. I've been in shape for the last who knows how long. And so I'm always ready to take a fight as long as I'm not injured.
It's a crazy gig, man.
Yeah, that's why it worked out good for his last fight. He was short notice fight with Hugo Vienna.
Last two.
His last two. Yeah, that's right. His last two fights were short notice fights, but he's always training and
always in shape, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, you guys have a really cool camp, and I think one of the things that's really important is what you said about that wrestler mentality.
Yeah.
There's when they were trying to take wrestling out of the Olympics, there was so many people were really frustrated and really angry, and people who've never wrestled don't understand this. I only wrestled for 1 season, so a lot of it I'm just talking out of my ass. But I know what it did for me just in 1 season. Yeah. I remember doing that 1 season of wrestling and thinking, that's probably the hardest I've ever worked at anything in my fucking life.
For sure.
And I had done martial arts from much earlier than that. I'd been involved in physical things. I'd played sports, but I was like, I played soccer. I'm like, this is the nuttiest, most soul-crushing shit. When you're exhausted and they make you fucking doing sprints, carrying guys on your back, and you're just nutty shit,
dig
man.
the fuck down and go, motherfucker.
Oh my God, running stairs, and they broke you. You would show up every day. Everything in your body would be fucking sore. But if you can get through that, it'll make you an incredibly strong person. And that's the advantage that the wrestler mentality has. Like, I always say that if the pyramid of mixed martial arts techniques was ever established, in my opinion at least, wrestling is the base.
Agreed.
And it's not just because of the actual ability to control where the fight takes place, whether it's standing up or to take it to the ground, whether you're using it Chuck Liddell style or whether you're, Ben Askren in it. The most important aspect of it is the mentality that comes with that training. It's not like jiu-jitsu. It's not like kickboxing. Nobody else works that hard.
Dude, when we weigh in every week, we compete every weekend.
And you're always hungry.
Oh, always. You have to be. You know what I mean? If you're not, you're getting beat. You're not going to be the best in the world. You know, and
definitely.
You have to be. You have to have the mentality of pushing harder than that next guy in that sport because it's just a one-on-one muscle versus muscle. Like it's tough. Dude.
I think the weight cutting aspect of it is a huge tragedy in high school, though. I really, really do. I have a friend who was a really good wrestler in high school, and he tried to stay at 128 through his entire career. And he was a fucking zombie in his senior year.
Yeah, that was
the kid always had bad breath. His mouth was always wide open. He looked like a zombie, and he was 5'6". All of his brothers 6 feet taller.
Yeah, starting his growth, huh?
He just fucking crushed himself. He ruined his body wrestling.
That was me at 55, man. I would just kill myself. I didn't know how to cut weight right. I was just always running, Abilene on, rubber suit, running, and just like training Thai style, just running a lot and just killing my body. So I think. No, I don't think I definitely fucking know 100% that killed me. That killed some of my passion as well, and then wasn't able to receive punches as well either, just from draining my body and not rehydrating correctly. So I just didn't understand the game until I got with Mike Dolce, and that motherfucker, he's got his shit down. He definitely knows how to make the human body lose weight correctly and then come back also. But it's all a journey. I learned a lot. It's a lesson, and I know exactly who the fuck Duane Ludwig is now. That's for sure. And that's what wrestling or anything, you know what you're
capable of.
I definitely know exactly what the fuck I'm capable of.
Yeah, you know your limitations. I mean, there comes a point in time when you literally can go no further. You can take no steps. You can lift your body up. You're done. Can you get there, though? Do you get there, or do you decide that 10 steps before that is there? Because that could be the difference between winning a fight and losing a fight. Yeah, the difference between being able to keep those RPMs up just a little while longer than the next guy. And that's what wrestling teaches you. Because wrestling is a strange martial art in that, you look at a guy like Askren, who is not like the physically the most like Kevin Randleman is the most ridiculously physically impressive fighter I think I've ever seen. I mean, just a super alpha male, mesomorphic build. But you look at Ben Askren, you don't see that. But if you said like who's the better wrestler, well, the better dynamic athlete is Kevin Randleman for sure. But man, as far as wrestling accomplishments, Ben Askren's more accomplished, and that's pretty incredible because in wrestling you engage. There's going to be an engaging. And if you don't engage, you're going to lose points for it. So you're going to tie up, and you're going to find out what the fuck is up once you do that. And there's a difference in that. And in the fact that it's going to go down.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, like, kickboxing, man, we've all seen bouts where almost nothing happens. There's a lot of fucking moving. They both decide to coast. That shit can happen.
Well, that's fresh in the brain. You're talking about, like, boring fights and such. How about when, what was it, the Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock fought? And they just circled, hey, you like that one, Mr. Rogan? Where you at, motherfucker?
No, that one, I was like, this sport's not ready for this yet.
Yeah.
But I think we had to go through that.
Collar.
Look, I would have hated to watch it, but I think we had to go through it as martial arts, like as a martial art, like which mixed martial arts is essentially. I mean, it is the sport most realistic to fighting, and I think we had to know that can happen. That these two fucking guys can just circle each other and do nothing. Yeah. I mean, we have to know. We've seen a bunch of fights like that.
So then that's when instead of encouraging the stand up, you encourage like a shot, motherfucker.
I don't encourage shit, man. This is what I say. I say if a guy like Clay Guida can run away from Gray Maynard for 3 rounds, then so be it. So he can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maynard should switch some stuff
him
up.
Off. Yeah, That's
Yeah,
just
look, I get
having
it.
the proper footwork and
I know
basics.
what you're saying. You would like him to try to win, but he's not gonna.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's possible too. So here's a guy who just decides to stay alive. Okay, he's not trying to win the fight. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think there is in watching it. I don't want to watch it, but then the market will dictate whether you watch that guy again.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna watch a guy like Michael Chandler, he's a good example.
Nice, yeah.
You know,
That
a
guy
lot
can
of
throw- I like
guys
that
don't
guy.
know who he is. He's
Yeah.
one of the best 155ers in the world, and he's a fucking animal.
He's awesome,
He
yeah.
comes after dudes, and so when you get a guy like that, or you know, a guy like Melvin Manhoof as a kickboxer, you get these wild berserker dudes. Matt Vanderlei Silva, you want to watch them,
yeah.
and so they're worth more money. And you know, and they're going to get booked more, and they're going to get higher play. I mean, people are going to want to see that shit. So I think that if you have a boring style, you ultimately pay for it in your career, and that's how it should be. The market, I think, should dictate.
yeah.
You know how you do with that style. But if you're a dude like let's say Ben Askren gets to the UFC, okay, which is entirely possible now. I guess he's a free agent, and he just mugs GSP.
Yeah.
Just gets all the GSP and just sticks his fucking chest on his face for 5 rounds and punches him in the head.
Dude, I believe he could do it.
He might. Look, but what if he does? Then what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
What if he can do that to everybody?
Yeah.
What if Ben Askren just monkey fucks everybody? and every middleweight fight from here on out is like, in a lot of fans' eyes, is uneventful and boring. Guess what? That shit's real.
Yeah.
Somebody has to figure out how to stuff the takedown. Somebody has to figure out how to either hit him coming in, or you got to Marcelo Garcia him. You got to get someone who's so high level on the ground that he can't stay in those positions.
So that's when it comes, you know, you're watching the film and you say, okay, he does this. So when he does that, I'm going to make him do that by me doing this. You play the what if game. We
What
play
would
a
you
lot
do?
of what if games.
I don't want to give away any game plans in case any of your boys fight him. But like without specific for any particular fighter, if someone's going to fight Ben Askren, how would you
I'd have to
approach
study
it?
some films. I don't even watch them, to be honest. I'd have to study some
Okay,
film,
how about Fitch?
see which
I know
way
you
he
watch
steps.
Fitch.
Yeah, I've watched Fitch.
Fitch is
but
similar
I'd have to watch
in a
the
lot of
Fitch.
ways.
I'd have to watch film with the mindset of coaching against him, because there's a difference. Because I watch film, and I'll take a film, and it depends. Because some film I can watch, or I just go off memory. I already know how to beat the guy, or how I feel like he can beat the guy, you know? So I get crazy with fucking watching film. And so I'll take a film, or I used to anyway. I used to take a film, watch it sober, boom. I used to take it and watch it high, just to give me an honest approach, because I am very biased, and I'm there for my fucking guys 100%. So I notice that. I'll watch fights, and I'm like, fuck, man, you know, my guys can do this. And I realize I'm not watching this with an honest, open mind. So, and then I watch it on Alpha Brain as well, on it from Alpha Brain, just to get different looks on things. I have another guy in Colorado, Mike Temple, who watches the fights. I ask the fighters to watch the fights, so I get a whole bunch of film. I'll make notes, compare the notes, see what we need to work with. But some guys, I can just watch the film and break it down and know right off the bat. But I'd have to watch Fitch, to answer your question, with the correct mindset of me being coaching. Because like me right now, like I'm hyped up, and like the Rogan guy, this is fucking awesome for me. Like I love this shit.
It's awesome for me too.
I've learned so much, like from the Rogan podcast and from you and your guests. You know, like Mike Dolce, Alex Gray, Graham Hancock. You know, Daniel Bellelli, like you know, Joey Cocodillas. Like a lot of guys have been on here, man. Like I've learned more from this fucking podcast than I had, you know, in school or my life trials, for sure, 100%. So like this has done a lot for me. For me to be on this, man, like it's fucking cool. You know, it's for me, it's like I'm, you know, like I'm still relevant. I'm doing things in life, which is cool. Like you know, like Boss Rootin' Story is on here. You know, like Boss is the fucking man. I love that guy. So
I do too.
Where's my black belt, Boss? Where's it at, motherfucker?
Where's that bitch?
So, no, it's
No, listen,
so
it's the
good.
same for me, man.
I know it's your
I've
podcast,
learned
Mr. Rogan,
an
but if you
amazing
keep
amount.
interrupting me, I'm gonna get motherfucking
Oh.
Go ahead. Carry on.
I have as well. Like it's not a one-way street. Like having these conversations with people like you know, I mean, being able to pick people's brains, being able to like,
Yeah, it's
have
awesome,
these.
man.
It's these exchanges, you know.
The energy, the exchanges. Like, that's what I love about it. Like, what's a cool fucking journey for me is for me to like create a combo or a technique, you know, and show it to somebody and have them drill it, pull it off the sparring, and then win the fucking fight with that same exact technique.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking nuts. That's fucking cool, man.
Well, you know what's really cool about it? It's like it really is artistic. It's like
yes,
you're
it's art.
creating.
Everything is an art.
And especially considering the fact that there's really no established protocol to do it. Like everybody has their own way. If you went to Greg Jackson, he would have one method to train a fighter. If you went to Matt Hume, he would have a different way of training a fighter.
See, that's why I think, you know, I've trained with Greg. I haven't trained Matt. I have trained with Greg. He's got great stuff. He's got awesome stuff. That's what, again, I'm making sure I'm adjusting to the athlete. I'm not trying to, you know, make them me. I'm trying to, you know, just like Chad Mendez, he hits mitts, he does certain things a certain way. TJ does things a certain way. I need to adjust to these guys. I need to give them my ideas, my opinions, my little bits of information while they're doing what they feel comfortable doing. Because if you can pull that off, what I would feel, technically incorrect, but if you can make that work, you can make that work. What the fuck can I say? I can't argue with success. If you're landing that right hand or that hook, I mean, I'd say, you're lunging in, your chin's up, you're out of position, you're making it work. But how about let's keep our position? How about let's set that up another way? Just give it another look at things. So to answer the question, as far as I encourage my guys to get other pieces of information, go train over there, go get different looks. I want to bring people in. I want to start bringing. Hopefully, Boston come to Team Off Mel and do a seminar. I'm hoping to bring Lisa Bowling.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from your value. It adds to it.
Interrupting me, Mr.
I'm helping.
No, thank you. Yeah, but then
don't get hung up on that. It's a conversation. You're not doing a lecture.
So I just love it, man. I definitely want to have as much input because I don't want to be stubborn and set in my ways where I'm making these guys do one thing. I want these guys to be the best martial artists they can be. So if that means bringing other guys, or that means visiting other gyms, man, fucking do it. So I'm not here for me. I'm here for these fucking guys. So I just
that's
want to
a big thing, though, right? You have to bring in other people.
I think so. 100%.
And isn't that was a real problem with some trainers? They were worried about other people coming in. They were going to take their thunder.
You know what was really cool is I was just in Boston for a Uriah's fight, and Mark Delagrande handed me out for a seminar, and there's open doors, let me teach the students, and it's the way, his energy and shit, man, that was fucking awesome.
He's beautiful.
He's a true martial artist, man. I love that dude. He's very, very fucking cool, and he did a Technique of the Week video, just like you did as well, for my Bang Muay Thai series, so, that was awesome, man. I got a great group of people around me, like Mr. Rogan, the Team Off Mel, and my art design guy, Aaron in Colorado, and my highlight guy, James Blair, who just did my new highlight with the team. Like that motherfucker.
That's a great highlight.
He can edit some fucking video.
What's
man.
the name of that if you want to find that on YouTube? Pull that shit up because it's pretty wild.
Is this the newest one? I think it's the latest upload or second upload on my YouTube channel, Bang Muay Thai YouTube channel. But I just made it a video, and 100%. Like I'm in Team Off Mel to do three things. We're in Sacramento to do three things: take care of my family and I, get these motherfuckers world titles, and then to push my Bang Muay Thai brand. Because I need to take my martial art information and monetize it. I need to make money off that now.
Right.
So, I ain't making no fucking money. 100%. I'm not rich, man. Like for real. I'm trying to stay real. I want to own a house. I want to have my shit paid off. I want to live a comfortable life for my family and I. I'm not going to be the martial artist who's not making any motherfucking money.
Right. Well,
I know too much not to teach.
Successful.
Yeah, as they become successful, and then it'll trickle down to me, which is cool.
I shouldn't say if they become.
No,
successful.
they are. Yeah, these motherfuckers
are
very successful. See, that's the thing too. Like before I came, look how successful they've been without me. Like I'm not trying to change shit. I'm just trying to tighten them up. I'm not trying. Like I'm fucking doing it. Like I'm tightening them up. It's because they're listening to me, and it's because they know I'm there for them. So there's a couple layers to this onion of our success. It's not just me. It's their belief in me as well. It's the way I carry myself, and it's the way they carry themselves. I'm adapting to them. I'm not there trying to make them Duane Ludwig.
Right.
I'm making them the best martial artist I can help them be.
Is there a danger of keeping the name Alpha Male? Because has it hit the critical douche point yet?
I'm not sure.
I worry about it.
You.
I worry about the alpha brain. I'm like, man, it bros out. It bros out at about a solid 7 right now.
The Bang Muay Thai smash. I know. I feel like fucking Splinter from the Ninja Turtles, and like these are my Ninja Turtles. Just like because like in San Jose on April 20th, is rolled in and had fucking TJ Dillashaw, Benavides, and Mendez all just come and just smash their opponents and just leave. It was like we just rolled into the town, smashed them, and the bounce. Like that was the fucking coolest shit ever. I wish people can experience that same energy, that same success. Like this, all it's just fucking cool, man.
Well, you're seeing.
I love it.
You're absolutely.
I'm living that shit. I fucking love it, man.
You're seeing improvement. You're seeing like real technical improvement. You brought up Chad Mendez before. God damn, is that dude a fucking athlete?
He is on another level. How Mike Tyson stuck out in the boxing world. This is Chad Mendez. He is a successful and a very dynamic, fucking just super athletic athlete.
Yeah, I know he lost to Aldo, but I believe that was before you guys started working together, right?
Correct. Yeah,
I've seen big leaps.
Oh yeah.
I just came to the team in January. So when I moved out there,
He's got one of those freaky abilities to cover distance with punches.
He is an explosive
so
athlete.
Fast.
God damn.
He's fast.
He's on another level, 100%.
That's the same thing when I was talking about Marcelo, like finishing up guillotines.
Yeah.
There's guys like Mendez that hit takedowns, they hit doubles, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, his takedown is a missile. It's impossible to stop.
That's what's so crazy about Aldo, that Aldo stuffed that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Chad gave him too much respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
couple
Chad
things to that.
Yeah, Chad just gave him too much respect on some stuff.
But you have to, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
No, I mean, you give him respect, but not to the point where it's hindering your own ability.
You think it was?
That's the thing I did when I fought Ramon Deckers. You can't. I mean, you got to give Ramon Deckers all the respect in the world.
Yeah,
but
for
I
folks
looked
who
up
don't
to him
know,
too much.
one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters all time. It's very arguable the greatest.
Yeah, 100%. And I just didn't. I just looked up to him too much, and I just didn't perform to my full ability, and that was disrespectful to him. I felt so. That was one of the things too. But I mean, he socked me up, and he won, and he'd probably do it again. But I just didn't perform to my full potential. But I mean, he'd probably beat my ass no matter what. Man, I love that dude. He was
And
a
in
good
all
guy.
fairness, you also fought him. He's pretty late in his career, right?
Yeah, late in his career, and he still talks me up. Bullshit. Damn it. Yeah, he's good, man. That motherfucker. God, man, much respect for that guy.
He has bad ankles now or something.
Well, he passed now.
Oh yeah, I know he died.
So, yeah.
He died recently bike riding, right? He had a heart attack or something?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy,
Yeah.
man. But he used to have really bad ankles, right? Like he had towards the end
Yeah,
of his
from
career,
kicking
he
elbows, his hands as
destroyed-
well. I mean, he hit too hard for his weight in his body. You know,
Yeah.
like the guy was a powerhouse. I mean, he was the Dutch windmill or something. I forgot his one of his nicknames.
Did
But
you find
Ramon
that,
Deckers is
that
badass.
highlight?
We found one of the videos, but we couldn't. When we went to the YouTube page, it said didn't exist.
Just look up Bang Muay Thai highlight. I'll find it in 3 seconds.
Well, here's a
Google,
here's a
Bang.
Thai punch slip drill.
No, that's not it. Bang Muay Thai highlight.
Bang Muay Thai Team Alpha Male highlight.
I bet you don't even have to write that. Yeah, you do actually. Bang Muay Thai highlight, alpha male highlight. Yeah, that's it. Go to Bang Muay Thai highlight and choose the third one down. It says Bang Muay Thai Team Alpha Male. Put it up so we can see it. You fucked up, Brian.
Now, when we have the TVs off, it turns off the display monitor.
Oh, okay.
So
Here we go. Back on.
No, okay, hold on.
Who's that?
That's
Instant
Instant
Inoue.
Inoue.
Oh, okay.
Powerful Instant Inoue. What a cool motherfucker. We did like a 1 o'clock in the morning
Yeah, that was
podcast.
cool. I heard that. I listen to all kinds of podcasts, man. I love this. I love
He's
this
cool.
podcast.
That was so cool. It was like him and Chuck just sitting here chilling,
That's got to be cool, man.
talking about
Good
the old
stories.
days. you
Helping
know?
out with the Fukushima and such, man. That's cool.
Isn't that nuts,
Yeah.
man? They said
That is nuts.
Fukushima is getting
Well,
worse and worse. They're starting
actually-
to see radiation in tuna.
Wow.
It showed elevated radiation, 3% elevation in radiation
sucks,
of tuna that they're catching in California. Yeah, this is the highlight. Put that shit on full screen.
That
This
stuff
highlight
giving me
is
chills,
badass.
man.
This just got done today. Thank you, James Blair. This
Oh,
guy
it's-
can freaking
It's amazing.
edit some videos, man. He's been hooking me up for a long time. He does all kinds of badass videos.
What the fuck is that? There you go.
What a huge asset to have such a technical striker like Duane Ludwig come
Powerful
along,
promotion.
your head coach.
I'm feeling great.
I'm pumping my stuff, man. You know, I know
No,
too
me.
much
I'm
not
saying
to-
I'm
oh.
promoting you.
Sorry, I thank you, Mr. Rogan. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, whoever edited this is fucking beast.
James Blair, that guy's badass.
He did an awesome job.
Hey, Benavi, where
The
you at,
music and
Benavi?
everything. Look at this head kick. Bang. I wanted to ask you about that too.
Yes, sir.
The kicks to the back of the head. We'll let this play
Oh
out
my
first.
God.
Let it play out. Let it play out. It's fucking badass.
There's the next UFC champion.
Benavidez.
Benavidez. Well, it depends who gets the shot first, Chad Mendez or Benavidez, but both of them.
They're
But
both
I think it's gonna be
beasts.
Chad. It's closer to the title shot, just for the ranking situation.
Benavidez is also getting better, man. He's
Yeah.
a fucking animal.
That was the
badass.
same.
Look at this.
Dillashaw, boof. Where you at?
Oh, I love that fight. Mm-hmm. Dude, that was the first fight
Animal.
where I said, wow, like you hit another level. You were clearly on another level. Technically, like the way you were moving,
Appreciate that.
Cousin Leonard Garcia.
that kid's a wild motherfucker.
Yeah.
So is this one.
Yeah.
Benavidez is a wild
Dude, he's just a
motherfucker with his
tornado.
nipple rings and shit.
Tornado of punches, man.
Dude weighs in with nipple rings on. He's a savage.
Boof.
Yeah, that was a great fight too, man.
You almost did that to me today on the mitts.
Oh, you're an animal.
This soundtrack sounds like you walking through a door in your TV show, Joe.
There's not enough screeching. More wolves
Counters.
calling. Damn. What a wild highlight.
Blair. That's pumping my Bang Muay Thai system, man. What I do is I have each week I send out to my affiliates. I have 4 to 10 detailed video curriculums showing them exactly what drill or technique to do that week. And each week I
Oh,
take my
really?
iPhone. That's what it is. Like I'm not just trying to sell you a banner or my name and put it on your gym. I take my fucking iPhone. Like we recorded the video today. I take my iPhone. I say, okay, I have my curriculum. I have my structured curriculum. Whatever we do this week, we do that same class in 3 or 6 months from now, depending on if it's the intermediate or fundamental curriculum. But I take my film, my phone. I record the videos mainly with TJ Dillashaw. I record. Okay, like, this is the drill that you do. Boom. Here's live. Boom, boom, boom. Now you're going to do this drill 5 for 5 or 1 full round apiece, depending on what it is and what week it is as well. But I send them exactly what fucking drills and combos to do that week. Each and every week I send that shit out. And I'm very proud of it. Like, I know too much not to teach, man. I love it. I wish I had this for me when I was coming up. And I love life now right now. It's fucking cool.
Are you on Adderall? right now?
No, I'm
This is
excited.
him,
This is
dude.
how
I'm
you are
fucking
all
excited.
day?
Well, I got whatever. What's this coffee?
Bulletproof
And
coffee,
I took
man.
4 Alpha Brains.
Thank
That'll
you.
do
Dude,
it.
I'm telling you, man. Like, this is fucking. I love the pod. Like, this
What's
is
the alternative
good time.
names for Alpha Brain? I think you can get away with. But by the way, I was only joking about the Alpha Brain or
probably
Alpha
mi-
Male thing.
No, I
I
feel
think
you.
you can get away with it because people call us Death Squad, which is way douchier, right?
As long as you
Way
act
douchier.
cool, man, the name will
My
be
heart's
all right.
pounding too hard to
You know
talk
what I mean?
right
It's
He's
right.
making your heart pound.
yeah,
Trying to
it's
follow
making
me.
me
I'm
intense.
excited, man.
Yeah,
Like, I love
almost
this
wanna
shit, man.
amped up.
Just like we're training, like I'm passionate. I
Yeah,
love it.
no,
I know. I mean, I love life, man. I love it. I mean, I came through so much bullshit as a child. Like I'm happy I could do what the fuck I want to do right now.
Right.
You know, I love life, man. It's fucking cool. I got to make the decisions that I want to fucking make as an adult now. And well, most of the decisions anyway. So you know, it's good, man. Life's good. I'm living through these guys. You know, they're gonna get a fucking world title. It's gonna be Benavides or Chad first, depending on who, you know, what shot we get first. I'm gonna game plan the fuck out of that, but I'm gonna game plan, you know, in there and make sure that I'm gonna ask them to do what I feel they need to do for the fight. I'm not trying to make them me.
Right. I mean, you're just enjoying watching.
I fucking
them
enjoy
progress,
this shit. Yeah,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
No,
I'm
it's
learning to the
cool.
point now that when I have a good time like this Rogan podcast where we train or I'm in the fights, I'm learning to embrace that shit 100% as much as I can. And then when I have a problem or a difficult time, I'm stepping away and looking at that from the sides. I don't want to be wrapped up in the problems. I want to look at the problems from the distance. And we have a good time when I'm in that cage and I'm walking these guys out and I'm fucking holding mitts and on the podcast. I'm trying to enjoy this shit to the full fucking potential that I can. So I know I'm going to be on this fucking earth for however long I'm going to be. Knock your shit off, TJ. No
I don't
gold
even-
stars for you.
I don't even have
just
to-
trying to get you to
100%,
slow
man.
down.
I love this shit, man. I do.
No,
man.
I don't.
love
You
life,
do. You said
yeah.
I love it about a billion.
I'm gonna say that shit
times.
some more.
We
'cause I want
totally
motherfuckers to
got
know.
that
It's
part
cool,
of your
man.
message.
Like I love it, man. It's
We
fucking
got that
good
part of
shit.
your message. We're
Yeah, I'm
well
just making
aware
sure.
that you, in
I'm making
fact,
sure.
love it.
Well, I want to make sure other motherfuckers love their life too, so they need to make the
Well,
decision that they need to make to
I
be
think
fucking
that
happy.
doing something that people enjoy and doing something that you can help people with is one of the keys to happiness.
That's one of the things too. I'm seeing these guys, you know, get better human beings and martial artists. That's making me feel good.
Well, isn't it an interesting thing? It's like being a fighter and being a training partner are two very different things, and then being a trainer is another very different thing. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like to be a good training partner, you have to first of all you have to know where a fighter is in their development. You got to not take advantage of them. You got to not hit them when you know they're doing 5 fresh guys in a row. Don't be a dickhead. Just make them work. Make the guy work. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
I
you know?
asked the guys at the gym. I tell them, you know, I ask
Are
them.
you interrupting me now, bitch?
Yes, I did. You ready to
What's going on
go?
here?
What the hell?
Let's beat him up, dude.
Bang Muay Thai
Might take
podcast.
2 of us,
Where
but
you
let's
at?
get him.
What I was gonna
Sorry,
say.
carry on.
No, I'm just kidding. Go,
No,
keep
carry
going.
on. It's a
No, I was
Rogan
gonna say
podcast.
that being a trainer is another. That's the next thing. It's a completely different thing, and in that you're benefiting entirely on other people benefiting from you, and you take your pride in molding them as fighters. You know,
For sure.
It's a very different experience, though, right?
It is a different experience, but it's something I've been doing since I was 19 anyway. Is just, you know, helping professional athletes train, and it's just because I need to train partners. I'm telling guys, you know, if I'm doing this, you know, look out for this, and just helping, you know, people break things down, helping them help coach me as well. So it's been a give and take, and now for me to do it full time, man. And again, I'm not even gonna say it, but I love it.
Do you think you're happier as a trainer than you were as a fighter?
100%. As I was too stressed, and you know, I understood that, you know, if I, you know, when I win the fight, I'm gonna make so much. If I didn't win the fight, I'm gonna make this much, and that was a hard thing for me. And I've reached my like in 2004 after I won my second world title in kickboxing. So my first world title was MMA with Jans, and then my second world title was a Thai boxing world title. So once I did that, I completed the goals that I set in my life, and then from there things changed for me. You could look at the statistics of my record. It was boom, 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 boom. Maybe, you know, a loss or two, boom, 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 kicking not everybody's ass, but doing good. And then at 2004, when I won my second world title, it just went boom, 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 boom.
You just lost your enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yep. Since
It was
2004.
was it just
So
a
I've been-
matter of just not being able to keep up certain RPMs, or was it the training environment?
You know, I'm not quite sure where to push the blame, but the main thing for me to
It's
say,
not really blame.
Well, you know, it just depends how you look at it. Well, obviously, right, life, but I just set a goal to win the world title, a kickboxing world title, when I was a child. My first world title was MMA world title. I didn't complete my goal, so I went for the kickboxing world title. It came around, and I finally got it. So then that just changed things for me. I set my goals too low, basically.
What
I think.
title did you have in MMA?
When I fought Jens Pulver in UCC in Canada, when that was his first fight once he left the UFC.
That was a quick knockout too, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was when you were you know, you were really super fucking sharp back then. Really super sharp, especially when you're striking.
Yep, correct. Yeah. Oh, you know, I was healthy. I was enthusiastic. Everything was
Yeah.
good. But once I won my second world title, you know, I just set my goals too low, and then I started like searching for, okay, I need a certain opponent to motivate me, or I need a certain training gap. Maybe I need to go train here. I started searching for things. Maybe money's gonna motivate me. And I started searching for things to motivate me because I'm just very black and white. You know, I'm gonna win a world title. I set my goal. I went to it. I got it. And I was kind of like, now what?
Do you ever stop and go, damn, I wish I had somebody like me training me?
I say that 100% of the time. That's why I tell these fucking guys too. Like, you know, I'm there coaching them. Like, I'm there for them. Like, pay attention. Like, don't waste my fucking time. Don't show up late. Don't do the drill half-assed. We're doing split seconds and fractions of an inch. It's got to be fucking done right, or don't fucking do it.
And there's more money in MMA now.
There's more money in
well
MMA now, for sure.
than back when you were in King of the Cage. You
Yeah,
know.
my first 2 fights King of the Cage, I got zero money.
Yeah, the King of the Cage one when you pulled off the karate kick.
Oh, story time. All right, here we go.
Crane kick.
So it was, I was nervous for the fight. So apparently the promoter told me that fighter he asked to fight me. So I took that personal. I was like, oh, okay, all right, motherfucker, you want to fight me. So I'm backstage. I'm a little, not little, I'm nervous as fuck for the fight. And so boss sees that I'm nervous and he wants me to relax. So he goes, hey, Dwayne, if you want to throw him off, do the Karate Kid. And I'm like, but I look back at it now, I see what he's trying to do, just relax me. But at the time, I'm like, fuck, boss, like, I'm nervous as fuck. I'm going to fight. I'm like, knock it off. So I got to the point in the fight where I was just socking him up. I, had my wings. I was doing what I wanted. And then it just came to me, just a kind of little tribute to boss to do the Karate Kid. And then I went back to fighting, and then they stopped the bout. But so, I took that. That's on my Angel logo. There's a couple pieces to that. It's doing the Karate Kid as far as a tribute to boss. It's got the wings because I feel like I always make the right decisions. I don't really screw people over.
So you feel like you have an angel watching
correct.
over you?
Well, no, that's just, for me.
You are an angel.
It's part of me. Is I feel like I always do the right things, and the head's bowed down as far as so I'm not above people. I'm just doing what I feel is right in life.
So you gave yourself some wings?
I gave myself some wings. Yes. Trademarking my shit.
Birds are cunts. Do you know that? Birds are like some of the
birds,
shittiest,
dude.
fucking nastiest animals. You should
I
give
don't
yourself like puppy ears.
Yeah.
To show that you're really
late.
lovable and perfect.
No
How come
puppy
everybody
ears.
wants to be an eagle? Nobody wants to be a puppy. Puppies are like way sweeter than eagles.
They
Eagles are
shouldn't piss on the
fucking
carpet.
assholes. Well, yeah, eagle eat a puppy.
can
Snatch
fly.
that motherfucker right out of your
They can
hands.
fly. Well, see,
Take him off to a treetop and
that
eat
puppy's
his
got to
brains.
work his footwork. His basics. He's got to be moving, motherfucker. Let's go.
Come on, that's rude. He's a baby. We gotta.
The parents should have been watching the fucking kid, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Little Bang's always training.
Little bit, yeah, for real. If he sees the logo, like he's watching the highlight video this morning, that just got finished today. He sees the Angel logo, he goes, "That's me." So it's
Wow.
awesome. My little boy, his name's Dwayne Bang Ludwig, my little boy. So he's badass. And I have a third baby on the way, and his middle name's gonna be Boss. So that's gonna be cool.
Okay, I was gonna say you can't name him Dwayne 2. Go George Foreman.
No, it's
This
Dwayne
is
Bang
Dwayne
Bang
number
Ludwig.
2. This is Dwayne Bang Bang. This is Dwayne Poop.
Like George, I
Coochie
guess.
Coo.
George Foreman, I guess, named all his kids George.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
he did.
Easy to remember that.
He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure.
He was just too bad to have other kids, like to have kids without his name. He's like, nope. They're like, George, you can't name them all with George. Yeah, well, yes, I can. Yeah,
do
I
whatever I
will.
want.
I can and I will. Bitch, you know who I am?
Exactly.
He's like, I'm not a regular dude. Like, he feels like he can get away with shit that other people can't. And he's right.
Yeah.
I mean, and to people that try to stop that, he's going to call his kids George, and you're going to have to fucking deal with it. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's life.
That means you're a
it
bad
is.
man.
Just like when we petitioned for the fastest knockout to come around, they said no, but you kept pushing for me, and then the fans, and then finally Dana White stepped in and was like, okay, no, it's official with the UFC. So, but it's only faster by 200ths of a second.
I'm an amateur MMA historian.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I have all these details sort of stored in my head. I don't really carry it around on a computer. Like, I literally have all these details because I love MMA. So for me, it was always a travesty. It was like, if we're going to bring up the record, you got to bring up Bang Ludwig. So someone will bring up the record, but I'll go, well, but it's not the real record because Dwayne Bang Ludwig should have the fucking record. That's
cool.
That's just a fact.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But
That was
as an
good.
historian, as an MMA historian, every fight has an asterisk. John Jones has one loss. Okay, you can call it that.
Kinda, yeah.
But he beat the fuck out of Matt Hamill, and he was smashing him. And the only reason why that 12-6 elbow is illegal is because when the Athletic Commission met with Big John McCarthy, they were concerned about those dudes on ESPN at 6 o'clock in the morning that are fucking smashing bricks with their elbows. So they're like, you can't do that brick smashing move. That shit's too powerful.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, all right. But meanwhile, like, maybe it's arguable that this elbow is more powerful than the downward elbow. Like, the downward elbow doesn't seem to have as much weight behind it as, like, a straight elbow.
How is it any more dangerous?
It's crazy.
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
But we're stuck with it. We're, like, totally totally, completely stuck with it.
Yeah, that's legal in Thai box. You can come
Yeah,
down 12
it
to
totally
6,
should
yeah.
be legal. It's an elbow. I mean, if you can hit a guy with a knee to the face, you're telling me you can't. You know how fucking hard a knee is to the face?
Yeah.
You can hit him with that, but you can't hit him with an elbow like that. That is ridiculous. A knee might be 3 times harder than an elbow. You know, like, you see what Alistair
Wish you
did
could
to
pull the
Travis
hand.
Brown's body? Like, God damn. Nobody throws knees to the fucking body like the Reem.
He can crack some eyes
God
for sure.
damn! Watching it in real life, it's like he's doing something totally different. Like, everybody's doing one thing, but when he's doing it, it's like he's going through your fucking body. But that Travis Brown, you can't teach that kind of heart. You can't teach that shit. That dude has 0 give up in him. It is nothing.
Yeah.
If he had 1% give up in him, a
That fight's
half of a
over.
percent, the fight's over.
Yeah.
He literally weathered the craziest nuclear fucking winter storm, you know, with solar fucking flares. He weathered the craziest shit ever. But because he didn't take it to the head, it was all just about him having the guts and the heart to power through it. If Alistair hit him with those shots in the head, his body would just shut off. But because he took him to the body, like, his heart got him through one of the craziest beatings I have ever witnessed anybody survive and then overcome in the same fucking round. I mean, that's one of the greatest come from behind rounds of all time.
I actually missed that fight. So we're
God
walking
damn
back.
it, Dave!
We were walking
the
back
fuck
with
did we
Uriah.
miss
'cause
that?
I was in. We were walking back from Uriah's fight because Uriah was on the card, Uriah Faber. So we were walking back through the tunnel after his fight. As they were fighting, we were doing his doctor check and such. So I was backstage. But as we're walking through one of the rooms, I hear, oh, and I'm like, fuck. So I run through and peek my head through the window, and then I see Alistair just dropping.
Dude,
So
it's
then
the
I see
craziest fight ever.
I gotta
It's
watch that
one of the
again.
craziest fights ever. I wonder if we could show it. I need to get permission from Dana White if we could just show these things. Because sometimes they pull YouTube video. Like, for folks who don't know, like, if shit gets pulled off of YouTube, a lot of times there's a bot that just searches for certain names.
Okay.
Like, if you write UFC in the title, they'll just
Okay.
yank our shit. They'll just take it offline.
So does
you know?
Codename.
So you put
And there's-
YOU
Yeah,
FC.
and there's a lot of videos that have me online that have been they put advertisements on. There's a company that does that. They'll do it for you. Like, if it's your content, they put your content online. You put an advertising on, and you get, like, it's like a penny.
Oh,
every
the
fucking X
AdSense
amount.
account or
Yeah,
something?
it's a fascinating thing. But for the UFC, they don't play. So if it says UFC anywhere in the video, they just yank it. They just pull it
Gotcha.
offline.
Is there a law that if their TV's in the background and you're filming like with your cell phone, that's legal? Because that seems like when you ever like you search Miley Cyrus from, like, you know, that MTV last night, and it's only the ones that are like people like filming their
That's a
TV.
good question.
And that's why I always wondered if people always had like a TV behind them to show like video clips and stuff like that, because that's kind of like
I do know that one thing, that if you have a video, like, say if you have a video like a scene from a movie, that scene from a movie has a digital signature. That they can find that digital signature on, like, YouTube. So, like, a song as well, like, a song has a digital signature, and so they can do a search on that digital signature. So if they say there's a Paul McCartney Band on the Run, they're playing Band on the Run in a video, they can find that has Band on the Run in it. Somehow or another, they can do that. If you take it and you film it with your phone, and obviously I'm an idiot, do not listen to me here. I'm just speculating. I know nothing about computers. But from my idiot perspective, I would imagine that it would have a different digital signature. It would be a different length. The sound quality would be different. If you were doing it from a phone, you'd have the ambient noise of the room that you're doing in. You might have you breathe. You might fart. There might be a lot of shit that's on the video. It's not, so I might not recognize it. But that's just... I don't even know why I speculated. Fucking wasted all your time.
The Shazam software.
A lot of people out there going, "Oh yeah, Joe Rogan says that it's totally legal
Joe,
because he farted or something."
you keep on questioning everything. You can't stop.
Let me ask you on that show. The question I looked up the one.
I think I'm done questioning things.
With the one with chemtrails.
Yeah.
That one, like, I don't know either way. I'm not fucking up there, but there is a difference between the ones that do dissipate right away and the ones that stick around. I mean,
Well,
what
again,
do they say about
I
that?
am absolutely not a scientist.
Yeah, fuck
nor
me either.
anything that I will say on whether it's about fucking air travel or space exploration, anything that I'll say on anything, the caveat that must be stated is I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I have no education in these subjects, and I'm merely reiterating things that I've heard people say online.
That's life.
If you weren't to say that, everyone would think so, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you sound
I know.
confident about
That's the
it.
problem.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I sound like an idiot. Well, especially if I'm wrong and I'm super confident. That's how cults get started.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly, 100%.
People are confident. People want to listen to them. But I'm super honest about what I know and what I don't know. I'm fucking as honest as is humanly possible, even if it makes you look like an asshole. But in that situation, I do know for a fact that when contrails are more likely, there's a map on a NASA website. You can go to the NASA's website and they'll show you where contrails will linger in the sky and where they won't. In fact, in 1942, the government was doing a research project on what they called persistent condensation trails. And what they discovered is during various atmospheric conditions, whether there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere or less moisture, depending on what the conditions are, it will change the length of the contrails that appear behind jets. And when you burn jet fuel, it creates moisture. And when you create moisture out of that burning jet fuel and it changes the temperature of the air as it passes through like that, you literally create a cloud. And so when people are looking at that and they're thinking, oh, the government's spraying us with fake clouds, it's very easy to think that. It's very easy. And this does not mean that they haven't done tests and really unethical things with spraying aerosols from planes. We know they have. We know that pesticides are sprayed from planes, okay? So we're familiar. We have that archetype in our head of spraying poison. We've seen the footage from Vietnam where they sprayed Agent Orange to defoliate vast parts and jungles. We've seen all that shit. So we're wary of things that are sprayed from planes. And you should be. But you should also know that there is a huge difference between that and what you're seeing in the sky on a regular basis. And when you start saying that what you're seeing in the sky on a regular basis is the government spraying chemicals, you really throw a monkey wrench into the whole idea of them actually spraying chemicals. Because, first of all, if the argument is that they're spraying aluminum and barium. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm half retarded. Again. Took a lot of shots to the head as a youngster. But the reality is, if they did spray aluminum and barium in the sky, it wouldn't linger like a cloud. It's lingering like a cloud because it's a cloud. And I know a lot of people have invested a long amount of their life wanting to think that what they're seeing is chemicals. And so it fucks with you because it's hard to admit that you're wrong. It's hard to change gears. We all know that.
Correct.
But in this situation, we have to look at it. There might be times when someone's spraying something from the sky, but the majority of what you're seeing is just a byproduct of a jet engine going through condensation. And then there's the reality. People say, well, are they geoengineering? No, but yes. So here's the reality. The reality is, even though it's just an accidental byproduct of jet travel, it does change the environment, and it is geoengineering. But it's not on purpose.
Not on the purpose, yeah.
It's just a part of flying. If we're going to have... There's 93,000 fucking flights a day worldwide. A day. So they're burning jet fuel in the sky above your head. They're taking toxic fuel in fucking 100-gallon wings full of this shit. Your wings are filled up with fucking fuel. And they're burning that shit up in the sky and creating clouds. Fuck yeah, it changes the environment. But it's just like pollution changes the environment in LA. When you're driving on the highway, it's not the government spraying pollution, okay?
Right.
It's fucking pollution. It's just a byproduct of human civilization. And a byproduct of air travel is A, they're burning jet fuel in the sky, and B, it creates persistent condensation trails under certain atmospheric conditions. This is the best that I could discern after research and talking to real experts. But this doesn't, this is where people go, you're a fucking disinformation agent. Joe Rogan's working for the government. You gotta stop and look at this shit rationally. If you're wrong about the majority of what you see in the sky, you discredit the possibility, the very real possibility that things have been done. Like there's a study about St. Louis. I think it was St. Louis. Hold on. Let me pull this up. St. Louis. There was something that was in the news really recently that they discovered, radiation.
I think chemtrails are just an excuse for pansies that like to look at clouds and they want some like
a reason
clouds
to look
are
up in the
beautiful,
skies.
man.
Some
I'm just curious on
aggregate.
why some stick around and why some don't.
Okay, so they're here. Well, this is because of atmospheric conditions. There's
thicker.
a difference between sometimes it rains and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's clouds, sometimes there's nothing in the sky. The conditions apparently when it's right before a crowd, like it's kind of hazy, those are the conditions that are best for creating these persistent condensation trails. And people have to understand these are fucking Southwest Airlines flights you're looking at. Sometimes people these are unmarked government planes. Man, do you really know that? What kind of fucking what kind of telescope do you have? How much research have you actually done?
Correct.
Or are you like me? Do you just reiterate shit that you learn online? Well, doing this show and doing the show on chemtrails, more people got fucking mad at me because of chemtrails than anything. And I take part of the blame for that. One of the reasons why is because I think they did a shitty job of editing it. And there's no disrespect, but the way the people edit that show, they have 8 hours of footage. They have to slam down to 44 minutes. So, to them, it wasn't important to totally, completely explain what causes a chemtrail. I didn't have 100% say or a contrail rather. I didn't have 100% say as to how the show got edited. I had say after the fact. I would voice my opinion. It would get overruled, or they would listen to me. It varied. And in this, I lost. And in this, I think we created a bad product. I don't think it represented fully the correct, full explanation of what contrails are. I think because it's such a complex issue, I think we owed a very complex and scientific explanation. But the problem is people think that shit's boring. Like what I just said right now, the majority of people listening that would watch American Idol would go, what the fuck are you yapping around? This is not podcast. It's not for everybody, you know? And this conversation is not for everybody. But if you want to make a TV show, it kind of has to be for everybody for the network to accept it. Until it becomes really successful or finds its niche, and then people, you know, like South Park, they can do whatever the fuck they want, you know, because it's a proven product.
Yeah.
If you had another show where you tried to make a cartoon where a gay guy is stuffing Paris Hilton up his ass and winning a slut off, they would go, what the fuck are you talking about? No, you can't do that. But South Park is so successful and they're so proven in the market that they do that. Well, when your show's not proven, you really can't, it's hard to like have your say as to how things get done. It's a complex dance, and I don't think we pulled it off. But it's part of the thing of creating something, like when you're trying to create a show. I feel personally responsible for it, though, because a lot of people got angry, and I think a lot of that anger could have been avoided. When I first started looking at chemtrails online, I, too, believed that it was a possibility. Like, is it possible they're just pulling this off right in front of our face? They're just spraying the sky? But then the more you look into it, you go, no, there's photos from 1980 that show these contrails, like long ones that lingered in the sky. People say, when we were younger, they didn't linger. Actually, they did. You just don't remember.
They pay attention.
How much the fuck do you pay attention to clouds that are created by jets when you're 8? You know, can you really tell me exactly what the fuck you saw? I barely remember shit I did last week. I mean, I'm being honest. I barely remember important shit I did, like shows that I did that were great. I got a standing ovation. I barely remember them. You tell me you remember this fucking these contrails from when you were 8 years old?
Do you remember the footwork drill that we did today?
I fucking remember that shit, dude. I learned some stuff. I learned some stuff from DwayneBang.com today.
Oh, man.
Dwayne won't let you forget it either, man.
But these people that I'm talking to, there's a problem with doing this show. And this is why I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it. I mean, first of all, Sci-Fi hasn't asked me to do it again, but even if they do, I have to really think about how it's... I don't think I'm doing what I want to do. I don't think it's coming out the way I want it to come out. It's there's part of it that is, like there was an episode we did on transhumanism. It's all like complicated, the science of extending human life. And
okay.
I love that because I got to talk to all these super intelligent people and pick their brain and ask really important to me questions. I'd love that. But talking to people that are telling me they're seeing bulletproof wolves and ghosts and shit that pops out of there's a wormhole and out came a bulletproof wolf. Oh, that sure happened. I'm sure you didn't have a camera. I mean, why would you while you're out there hunting for bulletproof wolves? I got tired of it. I got tired of talking to people that are just crazy people or silly people or people that need a fucking hug. There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah, that's true, 100%.
And there's also a lot of people that really believe what they are saying, and it's not because they're assholes. It's because they lack critical thinking skills. Whether no one's taught it to them, whether they've ignored them, whether it's the way they were raised, whether it's the environment they grew up in, whether it was the ideas they were exposed to as a young person. I don't know what has caused the situation that we're talking about, but there's a lot of people out there that are thinking in a very piss-poor way. And I've been one of them in the past, man. I've believed in a lot of stupid shit in the past, you know, that I was convinced probably was real. There's a thing, I always talk about this, a thing called rods. This fucking, they look like jellyfish that fly through the air faster than you could see. There's a whole video on them, Roswell rods. Then I watched a show called Monster Quest where they showed what they really are. It's just a video artifact. Like when you have a camera and it's going on slow motion and something flies past in front of it, it stretches the image out and makes it's a blur. It's a fucking blur. So I was convinced that these things were flying through the air all around us because I had seen this video and I was like looking for them. Dude, the guy who made this video does not want to admit that they don't exist. Not only that, he actually showed up at the UFC Expo when I was doing a Q&A, and he got in line and said he needed to talk to me about Roswell rods. He needs to come on my podcast because they are real, and those people on Monster Quest fucked him, and they I don't know how they could have fucked him because they basically showed the same scene. There was a campfire or a light and a bunch of bugs were flying in front of the light, and they set two cameras in front of it. One of them was an HD super fast camera that they used for like super slow-mo, and the other one was like a regular video camera. Well, the regular video camera showed these rods. They were flying across because it's an artifact. And if you look at how it's flying across the video, it's not flying that fast. Like I can see it. So how can I not see it with my eyes? But I can see it on camera. And then the other one just showed it's just bugs.
Joe, but did you see the underwater ones and the space ones?
For sure, story real. There is, without a doubt, information the government has been hiding. Dude, what you're doing right now is called you're making a plea to ridicule.
Rods are just tiny chemtrails.
Nice.
Yeah, they might as well be. You know, I thought they were real, man. I really did. You know, I saw a video once that showed that there were fucking buildings on the moon. Like this fucking guy had these images. Oh, even worse than that. How about the face of Mars? How about that motherfucker? You ever see the face on Mars?
No.
Yeah, well, there's images that people will swear to you. The government has basically doctored the second, more high-resolution images. There was some photos they took like a long time ago of Mars, and as they flew over Mars, it shows what looks like a 5-sided pyramid, I think, and a face on Mars.
I've seen those
and
photos,
even my own friend who I love dearly, Graham Hancock, wrote a dumbass book about all this shit.
I love this friend dearly. Dumbass.
But he admits it was a mistake. He admits it. But that shit's important, man. It's that's clearly it's a face. If you look at the shape, it does not appear in nature. These are two eyes. Bitch, you don't know what the fuck you're looking at, okay? You're looking at a spot that you decided. That's like looking at the clouds and thinking that you're seeing dragons. You know, you also could be seeing a fucked up cloud because clouds aren't perfect symmetrical squares, you shithead. All right? And you're looking at some thing that you barely tell what the fuck you're looking at. Clearly, it's a face on Mars. And there's a dude who has these videos where he measures like these arbitrary distances. Like if you measure from the nose to the left front center of that pyramid, it is the exact same distance as the Sphinx to the Pyramid of Giza.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, how the fuck did you come to that conclusion?
In the White House.
Yes, if you look at it from the White House in a 44-inch television in the corner where Clinton used to get his blowjobs, from that room, clearly the pyramid has a face on it that looks like the face on Mars. I rest my case. And people fucking buy the DVD and call each other on the phone and, dude, there's some shit you gotta see. There's some man who's dropping some truth. Some mad truth about the pyramid. And the next thing you know, you're getting fucking email blasts. Have you seen this about the pyramid? Like, you motherfuckers! It's not a fucking face on the Mars. There might be. But that's not it. I mean, there might be some other shit. It doesn't mean there's not some other shit. As a matter of fact, the pyramid shapes on Mars are way more interesting than the face. Because the face, when they show the high-resolution images of the face, these have been doctored, clearly doctored. These are not high-resolution photographs. In fact, they are less than half of the gigabytes that it would be if it was a true 85 gigapixel fucking picture. But there are some, like, symmetrical objects that exist that do look like 5-sided pyramids. Like you pull up that because that is kind of interesting.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But it's also possible that those things exist naturally. There's a lot of weird shapes that exist naturally. Like there's this I forget what it's called. Giant's Causeway, I think, in Ireland. Let me think if that's it. Let me see if that's it. But it's this crazy rock formation that's totally natural. Ireland. I think that's what it is. I need to get the images here. Yeah, that's it. Go there. Where? Go to Giant's Causeway in Ireland. And tell me this shit doesn't look like some motherfuckers were building a building. But it's not. It's not at all. It's just some weird, crazy, natural formation. If you saw this on an image of Mars, if someone sent you this, clearly these are cobblestones on a Martian street. They have cars like ours. They're probably shaped like us. Go to that. If you found it, look at these images. Look at this shit. Look at that.
Where is this now? Oh,
this is in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Tell me if you saw that on Mars. You wouldn't start shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Clearly, there is a sophisticated civilization.
That's just natural shit, huh?
Perhaps aliens came down and ruined them, took their women. Look at that. I mean, that shit looks so...
Wow.
That looks so unnatural.
Yeah. 100%.
It looks like someone made a cool-ass cobblestone street.
Yeah.
But it's just a natural formation when these... I don't know what the fuck causes the stones to be shaped in these weird patterns.
Wow.
But look at that. If you looked at that, you would swear that has to be made by somebody. But it's not. It's totally natural. And there's varying stages of it. They can actually see like how it's developed. I don't know. I'm not obviously not a... What are they called? What's a geologist?
Expert.
Someone who understands rocks. those dudes, they look at it and like there's another disagreement that Graham Hancock has with some of the people. Graham Hancock is this famous dude who wrote this book called Fingerprints of the Gods.
Wow.
Brilliant guy, and he's exposed a lot of really fascinating shit about ancient civilizations. And he's headed right now to Göbekli Tepe. He's going to be back on the podcast in November. He's going to Göbekli Tepe live to check this out because Göbekli Tepe is essentially a structure that affirms all of his beliefs. He believed that there was an ancient civilization that lived far earlier than we're giving modern civilization credit for, and that they were capable of very sophisticated things, but something happened and they were most likely wiped out by like meteors or something like that. Well, two things have happened since he wrote that book. One, the discovery of Göbekli Tepe. 14,000 years old, as old as 14,000 years old. Fucking massive stone pillars with animals carved in them. Back when they thought that people were just like riding on horseback, barely, you know, hunting and gathering. Like that's all they did. Meanwhile, they're building these insane, huge, complicated structures. And the discovery of the impact of the Clovis comet. They know for a fact that most likely all of the life in North America, like all the people that lived in North America, were wiped out about 12,000 plus years ago. Oh, wow. They know that a huge comet hit. It's called the Clovis comet. And there was like a recent discovery about it, a recent article that was published about it. So they know that there's been some shit that went down. So because of that, Graham has this like eager, searching eye. And occasionally even he gets fooled. Like he'll look at something and he'll think that this thing can't be a natural formation. But then you look at something like the Giant's Causeway and you go, it might be. Like there's this thing in Japan off of the coast of Yamaguchi, I think it's called. I forget the name of the place.
The one underwater?
Yeah. Really interesting shit. But it could be natural. If you look at this Giant's Causeway thing, it could be natural too. It could be weird. But go to grahamhancock.com and pull the images, the underwater images of these structures. So if you see these structures, you can kind of see why someone could say, man, this is man-made. This is definitely man-made. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. But that's like what's really important whenever you're searching for information. You got to be open to all fucking possibilities. Yeah. You can't be married to something being real. And where I think a lot like this, he thinks this is like a ring of sort. It might be. Yeah. Or it might. It's not as symmetrical as Giant's Causeway, which we know fucking for sure is naturally created rather. So it's like when you come across things like this. Or things like chemtrails, like you got to be really sure of what the fuck you're saying, and a lot of times people aren't. They're just not. One of the guys that we interviewed for the show was a really nice guy. His name is Michael Murphy, and he wrote these documentaries. He made these documentaries called "What in the World Are They Spraying," and "Why in the World Are They Spraying."
I didn't realize how crazy he was till I seen your show. I
nutty.
shouldn't say crazy.
He's nutty. He's a nutty dude, but
he doesn't operate on the same wavelengths I do.
He's a little high strung. You're a little high strung too, fella. Somebody listen to this podcast.
Is like,
hello, Pat. Fucking kettle.
There should be a warning not to drink caffeine before.
Is this bulletproof coffee or what coffee is this?
Bulletproof,
my man. Good stuff.
There's going to be all these people flying off their treadmills.
This
into
is
the
every
walls.
day though.
Yeah, I'm always hyper as fuck. Yeah,
I know you are.
I don't even have to drink caffeine before practice or anything because he gets me going so much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's good stuff, right?
Yeah. Listen, man, good. This stuff is awesome too. This bulletproof stuff. A lot of people are saying like they could give you heart attacks. Whatever, bitch. What are you, a pussy?
I drink it
daily.
daily.
A heart attack?
Yeah.
I don't know if it gives you. I think that cholesterol most certainly is probably bad for you if you live the average American life. Yeah. But you know what's really bad for you? The average American life.
Exactly.
That's what's bad for you.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, can drink this shit all day long because I work out like a terrorist. All right. What'd you say?
Did you hear that Uber is purchasing 2,500 of those driverless cars?
Ooh.
And can you imagine now, like, just being on your phone and like, pick me up, and there's like, car with no person in it picks you up.
Oh, that's coming, right? That's coming for sure.
Aren't those called taxis?
Well, my car, I got an Infinity, and it recognizes the distance between the car in front of me and slows down.
Oh, wow.
And then when the car goes further, it speeds up. Like, say if you set your speed limit, you set it to 65 in the cruise control, and it knows where you're going.
Wow.
It slows you down. Sweet. Like you can just let your foot off the pedal and just chill. And it like will, you have to have your foot ready to brake.
Yeah.
Some deer runs across in front of you or some shit. Actually, you're not supposed to brake, right? If a deer goes in front of you, you're supposed to smash fucking nail him.
For sure, yeah.
That sucks, man. It's hard to do.
Free
Drive
deer,
a nice car.
Free deer meat.
Fucking deers going right through your windshield, especially if a Miata or some shit. And you see an elk, you might want to hit the brakes.
An elk.
Yeah, I mean, Miata stop pretty quick.
Yeah.
You don't want to hit a fucking elk with a
Be aware of
Miata.
your surroundings for sure.
There was a show that I watched called Pigman. You ever watch that show? This motherfucker, first of all, the reason why I brought this up is they have these trucks with these giant grills in the front of them because there's so many wild deer and wild pigs in Texas that they just run into those bitches on the highway all the time, and they will fuck your car up. So dudes have special bumpers on their car just designed to smash into deer. It's like some Mad Max shit. Like, so you have this gigantic pickup truck with this fucking metal battering ram that has it literally like cuts like a V straight towards the I mean, these are crazy fucking bumpers. The show, it's called Apocalypse 2013. Pull the video up because I put it on Twitter. This is the nuttiest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. What? Nuttier than this is a Buddhist area of Japan where they feel that deer are sacred. And there's a video that I tweeted about all these deer everywhere. This is not the Apocalypse.
I miss Japan. Japan were fun trips, man.
These are really cute. They're delicious. I'll shoot those fuckers. I would shoot them right there if everybody went to sleep. I'd pull out a bow and arrow and shoot them right from the hotel.
I'm hoping the UFC goes back to Japan. One of these guys found the card. I miss Japan. Going on another one of those trips where I can actually eat food and relax and not stress about my own fight.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Pull that other video up because it's a crazy thing to look at.
Okay.
They're shooting pigs from a helicopter. Okay,
I've seen
him and Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
This is a new one though. Yeah. This is a two-parter. They did it last year, and it was "Let There Be Pork," I think. But this is Apocalypse 2013, and it's a two-parter. And in one of them, he's shooting bows and arrows. He's shooting bows and arrows out of a fucking helicopter at pigs. Yes way.
Wow.
And killing them. He said it's the only time it's ever been done.
Yeah, for sure.
He killed 3 pigs with a bow and arrow. You got to listen to this because this is fucking crazy.
Dude, it's hard enough to shoot a bow and arrow from the ground.
This is the craziest thing the Sportsman Channel has ever done.
Coast to coast, across the heartland.
They're setting it up like these pigs are dangerous, which is true. But look at this. That's Pigman and Ted Nugent. This might be one of the greatest. I mean, look, I'm not a fucking heartless person, but there is a reality that they have a real problem with these wild pigs, and there is a problem with feeding hungry people as well. They absolutely donate all of that meat to Hunters for the Hungry.
Look at that.
He's shooting a fucking bow and arrow at a pig from a helicopter. Hunters for the Hungry, they donate all this meat. So this meat goes to needy families. It's really good wild game. It's very healthy for you. And these people are very fortunate to be able to get free meals like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
That said, they're not hunting, okay? They're look, he's just shot it with a bow and arrow.
That's
look,
so crazy.
dude, they're eradicating what they consider to be problem animals.
Yeah.
And people say, well, humans are fucking problem animals. Like this one animal rights activist went fucking bananas when I posted this video. It was really interesting. I read his timeline. He was calling for Ted Nugent to A, fight him in a bar fight, two, he was calling him to either kill himself or die, like over and over again, calling for him to die or you want to kill a person. But meanwhile, you like this animal killing bothers you, so you want to commit violence in the person. You're protecting the animals by also acting violently.
Yeah, dude, I got so much crap on Twitter for when I went bear hunting and got a giant bear.
That's right.
Did you get a grizzly?
No, brown black bear.
So did you eat it?
So we donated all the meat to the local Indians. I hunted on the Crow Indian Reservation in Montana, and the bear that I killed, I donated to the local Indians there because I mean, you should see this Indian reservation how they're living. You know, it's pretty bad. And killed this
really
giant
sad.
bear and posted it on Twitter, and people were eating me up over it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they don't realize that by me doing that, I'm actually helping out the population of other animals in the bear. At that time, the bears, they'll kill their own cubs so that they can mate again. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, if they're in a bad situation where there's low resources, people don't like the idea that the resources have to be maintained, and that if you really study it, and it's so hard to do, but try to talk to someone who really understands game conservation and try to study it from an objective perspective, because there is a certain amount of predators that can exist in an environment, and there's a certain amount of prey that can exist in an environment, and they know what that number is.
Exactly.
And they know how to manage that, and they're very diligent about it. They change the limits all the time, like they do with the salmon population in Alaska. They monitor it very closely with salmon weirs. They make sure that the populations are healthy. They get good numbers running through so people can or can't fish. They open season, they close close seasons on a whim. If they go, look, there's not enough fish coming through this weir, boom, they shut the season down.
Yeah.
And that's called responsible management. If you don't have responsible management for wildlife, especially when it comes to deer, you get overpopulation, you get fucking diseases.
Yeah.
They get a lot of wasting disease. You get Lyme disease, which spreads throughout the East Coast. There's people that are fucked up from Lyme disease. And Lyme disease comes from deer ticks.
Yeah.
And people have to understand, like, there's more, and I've read this recently. No, Ted Nugent told me this recently. Not me. He doesn't like me. But if you talk to me, he probably thinks I'm a liberal. But if you talked, he on his show, he was talking about how there is more wildlife as far as deer and as far as coyotes and as far as like whatever wild game in this country now than when Christopher Columbus came here.
Oh, wow.
How fucking crazy is that? First of all, how the fuck do you know that?
How do you know that? Yeah. Who was keeping count back then?
But second of all, if he's right, and the idea is that with less forest than there used to be back then, like before, it was like fucking forest everywhere.
Yeah.
The deforestation has actually created larger areas. Like agriculture has created much more opportunity for deer to eat. So there's more deer now than ever before. They're more successful because there's less like mountain lions around and shit, because there's people around. They hear the cars and shit. They're not just like
safer
actively
environment
running through. Yeah, so they're getting to breed more, and you got to manage that population.
Yeah.
If you don't, you have deaths on the road.
Yeah.
Not just the deer, but people. I mean, if you've ever Googled deer through windshield, you want to see some horrific fucking scenes of destruction. People die every year because deer go through their windshield. And a lot of folks don't know that, but a deer is a fucking 180-pound hunk of bones and steak. And you hit it with your car, and you're fucked, man. Stop trying to be cute. I'll show you some cows, too, bitch. You eat cheeseburgers like a motherfucker.
People don't realize either the money you pay for those tags to go kill that animal, too. You're donating that money to the wildlife preservation,
Yes.
Like I just spent over $400 on a deer tag in for the Ruby Mountains.
In fact, hunters donate more money for conservation and have more impact on conservation because of the amount of money they spend on tags than any pro-animal rights group.
Absolutely.
Than any.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that you get from tags and from management, you can't just leave them alone. Like people are like, let those animals go. Let them alone. You have to understand that you're a fucking animal too. All right? There's a delicate game that's going on between us and all the other. And yes, as the highest intellectual animal with thumbs on the planet Earth, not in the ocean, it's debatable whether or not we're smarter than dolphins if we can't understand their language and they can understand us. I think it's debatable. But as the smartest, and the one who's looking like, what's the best case scenario for mankind? Well, no more war, love your brother, everybody gets along, we have the perfect civilization in 100 years, and we all get our shit together. We all agree that you can't show cruelty to animals and make that happen. You can't be stomping people's cats and shooting people's dogs. And so we associate our dogs and our pets, who we love very much, our cats and what have you, we associate that with wild animals. But that's some baby shit, okay? Because wild animals will fucking eat your asshole. If you go out there and you go wandering around and you fall down and you sprain your ankle and a fucking bunch of wolves find you, guess what, fuckface? That's a wrap. And the only thing that keeps those wolves from doing that is they know we have the bang sticks and the cars and all the shit that they're scared of. So they stay the fuck away. That's it. It's not that wolves aren't beautiful, man. I fucking love wolves. I think they're majestic. I watched documentaries on wolves. I bet I've watched 100 documentaries on wolves. I watched a documentary about the dude who lived with the wolves in this gigantic wildlife containment, and he would actually stuff a liver into the carcass so that he could prove that he was the alpha.
Yeah,
he would eat the liver first and growl at all the other
Oh,
wolves.
yeah,
That guy's crazy.
Well, you were talking about that.
Fascinating. I think they're amazing, and I'm so glad they're alive.
Yeah.
But if one of them is following me, I'll shoot it right in the dick.
Oh, yeah.
In a heartbeat. If I had a gun and a wolf was following me, I'd be like, are you fucking crazy? I have kids, you fucking punk.
Most of the information that I know that you're talking about is actually coming from the podcast.
Boom. I'd fuck it up. Da, 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 da. It doesn't mean I don't love wolves. I do love wolves. But if I thought a wolf was going to eat me, I would fucking kill it. Like, you have to do that.
Yeah.
And people have to understand that that used to be a really common occurrence. People killed wolves all the time. Between 15-something, a 250-year period in Paris, wolves killed 3,000 people in France.
Wow.
Wrap your fucking
that's right.
head
We were
around
talking about that, yeah.
Dude! That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
That.
They're smart, sneaky things that eat meat. Okay? What are we? Stupid, lazy fucks that get drunk and we're made out of meat. All right? It's pretty fucking simple. But everybody wants to look at them. It's like beautiful.
That's one of the things that, you know,
fluffy, amazing. Yes, amazing. Yes, also they have to be managed.
If I had to hunt my own meat, I probably wouldn't. I'm too kind-hearted to.
Oh, you say that.
Yeah.
You say that. You have
well,
children,
unless I got
bro.
to the point. Yeah, if I got to the point.
If
yeah,
your kids were
right now.
starving and it was wintertime,
Yeah, I'd choke
and
the
you
fuck
had
out of something.
Fuck yeah, you would. I know you,
Yeah.
dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You
It gets to
just
that point.
are
Right
kind.
now, I'm just nice. Yeah.
You're kind if you don't have to be
If I
mean.
get put to the point, then things would change for sure.
It's like,
Yeah, but like I wouldn't do it right now for fun. Or
no,
Yeah.
you should never do it for fun. And that's why it's fucked up to watch this Pigman thing, because on one hand, I agree that they have to do what they're doing. Like those pigs cause devastation to wildlife. They cause auto accidents left and right. They run across the roads. They fucking devastate farms and cost people who have this land, their family banks on it, cost them a lot of fucking money. That is reality. And then there's also reality. They're a life form. They're a life form. Maybe they shouldn't be shot in the head with machine guns from a helicopter.
yeah, they're glamorizing it, also making money off it, like making it seem cool to kill animals and stuff. That's
You're
not-
right. You're right. But then again, the food goes to they have to be killed because they are a problem. There's so many. I don't know if this is true, but I read this, so let's just repeat it.
Bring it.
There's almost as many pigs in Texas as there are people.
Huh.
Wrap your fucking head around that. There's almost as many. Let's just Google that. What am I-
Texas is a big ass place too.
And
Number
there's a
of
lot
wild
of
family in
pigs,
San
but there's a
Antonio.
lot of pigs there.
And we're not talking about women. How dare
no.
you? How dare you shame those women? You're
I
fat
didn't even
shaming.
catch that shit. That's
You're fat shaming,
You'd be nice,
asshole.
Mr. Redman. You'd be nice.
Fat shamer.
guy, yeah.
I bet you slut shame too, you asshole. Slut shame and fat shame. Numbering in the millions, these shockingly destructive and invasive wild hogs wreak havoc across the southern United States.
Wow.
They're so fucking strong and tough. Wild pigs that what happens is domestic pigs get out, and it's a weird thing, but within 3 weeks of being out in the wild, fending from themselves, their body actually starts changing. Their hair grows coarser, their
you're
nose
talking about
extends,
this,
their tusks grow. It's nuts, man.
Quick evolution, huh?
And they are not shy about fucking. They fuck up a
Middle of the road.
storm, and then they just they just start dominating. They just start taking over land, and they don't have very many natural predators. So there's apparently they do 400 million in damages annually.
Wow.
God damn.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. That's good.
They also
those
they also
motherfuckers.
cause fish kills because they fuck with ponds so much. They stomp around in them that they get the ponds so muddy from running around in them that they choke off the fish. They're nuts, man.
Yeah, I raised pigs growing up to sell them
wow.
for 4-H for auction, and dude, they're a pain to deal with. I mean, they mess up everything. They tear down your fences. They cause more problems than they are to take care of for sure.
Okay, this might not be right. What I said might not be right about the numbers of people because apparently, but the number other article, which is on NBC, says that they cause $1.5 billion in damages nationwide each year, which is the other one was just Texas, and there's currently more than 5 million wild hogs in the United States, and within a few years, they're saying that the number of feral hogs is going to triple. 5 years in Texas, fucking triple.
They need to get hunting.
So they
feeding
literally
people.
almost have to do this.
Yeah.
Where they're shooting them out of helicopters. They carry crazy amounts of diseases, and unless you want to just start fucking reintroducing wolves to Texas, you got to take care of these motherfuckers. Something's got to eat them. You can't just have these things. You have an imbalance. The reason why there's millions of wild hogs running through these fields is because there's nothing killing them. They're not supposed to be there. Like, there's a problem. And so you have to figure out a really extreme method of solving this problem. There's no more extreme method than Ted Nugent and the pig man in a fucking helicopter with machine guns. And yes and no. Yes, it's cruel. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, I'm an animal lover. Yes, I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. But I fucking saved that shit on my DVR. I'm going to watch it again.
I need to watch. I can't believe they shoot it with a bow. That's insanity.
Well, he misses the first shot because he has to actually factor for the wind coming off the helicopter.
I'd imagine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, I
pushing
didn't think
the arrow down, so it's shot low. So he has to sort of lead it. Fucking fascinating.
Yeah, and you don't have sights for that. That's all
Nope.
judgment. You know what I
Judgment.
mean? Yeah.
Meanwhile, he misses the first shot, second shot, heart shot.
Wow.
Heart shot. I mean, he's just
guy's
nailing
good,
this thing.
yeah.
Oh, he's fucking super deadly accurate.
Yeah.
And again, horrible and sad that these poor animals have to die, but there is an imbalance. And as the stewards of the land, I think there's a good argument that humans are supposed to maintain that shit, right?
You know what would get better ratings though if they just had like one of those big slingshots and they just put pigs in there and try to see how far they could flip them.
Well, it's hard to catch the pigs, man. They do catch the pigs and knife them. Yeah. They catch the pigs on some of the episodes. They catch the pigs with dogs. They have two separate types of dogs. One dog finds the pigs and bays them, and then the pit bulls come in. And then the pit bulls have like leather vests on, so the hogs can't rip them apart, and they just lock onto them and hang on. And then they come and kill them with a knife. And
oh wow, that's a process.
It's fucking gangster.
That's some teamwork there.
Yeah, and it's crazy to watch because it is as primal as it can get. And I think the only reason why people aren't watching it is because it's on the Sportsman's Channel. I mean, who goes to channel 605 on DirecTV? You got to be looking for some weird porn if you're that high up on. That's like right after it's like porn in Spanish. It's like those are those weird channels. Like, how'd you get over there? Except like Fuel's in that range, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot of great fights.
400s, yeah.
That's like the fucking UFC network, man.
I didn't even know that they had a new. That's the network, the Fox One.
Yeah, Fox Sports One. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, it's incredible. The ratings for Fox Sports One were off the charts for the first UFC card.
Nice.
That's why they put together that insane card. I mean, that card.
That was a good card.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen versus Shogun.
Unexpected.
Crazy.
That was
and
awesome.
Then before that, Alistair versus Travis Brown. I mean, there's Matt Brown versus Jesus Christ. There's so many good fights. Mike Pyle. Quicksand. There's so many good fights on that card. It was like one good fight after another good fight. It was like a pay-per-view worthy card.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, a lot of people were upset about the Sun and Hua fight. Both are a little bit past their prime. Chael's lost a couple fights in a row, but what a fucking great fight it turned out to be. And you get to see that Chael can still finish guys. Like people sleep on that shit, man.
Yeah.
That guy's a beast.
He
gets a hold of your neck, man. He knows how to finish guys too. Just because he hasn't done it on a lot of guys. If you watch the way he closed off Brian Stan, that is not a dude who's just doing that for the first time. That's a dude who's really good at finishing people. He just hasn't been doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's been fighting tough dudes, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? He's been
Absolutely.
really tough guys.
He's been fighting the top of the food chain guys. It's like what we went back to when we were talking about Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Like people say that Mighty Mouse is boring. Bitch, you're crazy.
No way.
He's exciting as hell. He's like one of the most exciting guys ever. It's just he's fighting guys who are almost a mirror image of him. When he's fighting Benavidez and when he's fighting, Ian McCall, those guys are so fucking good. You're just in the mix with this. The techniques are like shutting each other off and both got exactly.
Razor thin. I can't wait till Benavidez and Mighty Mouse fight again. That's going to be good. Benavidez was September 4th against Formiga in Brazil, and then hopefully he gets a title shot after that.
How old is he now?
I'm not sure.
28.
Do you think that it used to be that the lighter weights, like they were much better when they were in the youngest age? Like, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Yeah, like that's like a perfect time to be developing between like 22 and like 29 and 30. But like with a heavyweight, guys are sort of coming in their prime when they're hitting like 30 and 31. Like it seems like the larger men learn how to move their body better later in life.
Okay.
Whereas like younger guys, they seem to like hit their threshold of where they kind of peak and fade off earlier. Do you feel that's accurate?
I'm not even
with
sure.
Lighter guys?
I'd have to start watching.
I don't know. I feel like I've gotten stronger now that I've gotten older. I feel like I've got a little bit more man muscle and stuff.
Right.
I feel like I've gotten stronger that way.
Brian just got a hard on.
Man muscle.
At what
Pop more boner pills.
at what age is what is the most successful older lightest weight fighter? Because obviously you have Randy, who's the most successful. The oldest high level fighter was Randy. Because Randy was world title fights at 46.
He was the
40,
exception.
he was fighting Machida at 48. He's fighting very high level.
Shoot, Uriah's feeling pretty good, and he's 34?
34, 35, yeah.
So he's probably the oldest of the high level lighter weight guys.
Yeah.
And hasn't lost a step. Is getting
no,
better.
he's good, man.
Yeah,
that fucking guy. The whole team is just kicking ass, man. It's fun as hell for me to be there, man.
Do you have an alternative name if alpha males?
The whole team.
What if it becomes
the Bangzillions?
Bangzillions.
Where you at? I got that from actual UFC magazine. I didn't create that, but I like it.
That's
I like
that.
that. So we go with that. Bangzillions.
Yeah, but you're gonna need some sort of a Brazilian element. You got to bring in some
Bangzillions. Zillion.
But why zillion? Do you have?
I don't know. I don't know
how
what
many Brazilian guys you train with?
Zero.
How about the Bang?
Oh no, there's one there now that Professor Fabio brought.
How about we're an American Bang?
American Bang. Some Bang
instead
sessions.
of American Band.
Team
get
Alpha
it?
Bang.
We're an American Bang.
You get the Bang just got to be secondary. It can't be Team Alpha. It can't be Bang Team Alpha Male. It's gonna be Team Alpha Male Bang.
I see. I understand.
I love
weird.
tweeting that I've just had a great bang session.
Yeah.
You
The
know what I
guys,
mean?
their tweets are awesome. I'm like, man, some of our retweets, some are
that doesn't help the douche element.
No,
That's
not at all. It encourages it. It encourages it for sure.
Everybody wants to bang, but if you just say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go bang my girlfriend," everybody's like, "You fucking
strange.
douche."
Yeah.
There's a fine line between what everybody wants and what everybody talks about.
Yeah.
And you got to be real careful about that. Everybody wants to fuck, but if you talk about fucking, like, get out of here.
Too scared to admit. They were,
You can't
too
say
conscious of ridicule.
I just banged my girlfriend twice, bro. Made her come like 80 times. I win. You put that
That's a
on
successful
Twitter.
man.
You put that on Twitter, and you're just gonna get
For sure. Ridicule.
as if that's not what everybody wants.
I don't mind it. I got 3 kids now. One on the way. So.
I think though it's like one of those things where it's like if you're really rich and you start bragging about it, people are like douche.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are poor. So if you're like Captain Fucks a lot and you're out there slinging dick like a ninja,
Oh
you
shit!
know,
Yeah.
having sex with Jessica Biel and putting pictures of her ass on Twitter, asshole. 'Cause it bothers people. Like
be
there's
jealous,
a photo.
huh?
Like let's be honest. There's a photo of Jenny McCarthy with Donnie Wahlberg, and we saw it on whatever the fuck it was. CNN breaking news: Donnie Wahlberg put his penis inside of Jenny McCarthy. I wonder if they got vaccinated before they did it.
That's
When you
right,
look at the
vaccines.
picture, where you're like, look at he gets to bang her. Oh shit.
What are your thoughts on vaccines? What are your thoughts on vaccines? Curious about that.
My kids have been vaccinated. I think some vaccines are very important. I think there's a lot of vaccines for sure, and there's different protocols that people follow. There's some doctors that have a protocol where you slowly vaccinate your children instead of giving them this gigantic
dose, huh?
amount of. And I think that is, look, you're not supposed to give babies peanut butter, man. If you
honey.
give peanut butter to babies, that you never know if your kid's allergic to peanuts.
Correct.
So you have to find out. Like babies are super sensitive and very delicate, and they're very fragile. That said, the human immune system, without a doubt, has benefited from vaccines. I just don't know if we have too many of them, or if in the past. I know for a fact, and I'm a supporter of vaccines without a doubt. I don't want to be even blurry about this. I think vaccines have changed this world and have made society safe for us from a lot of different ailments. That said, nothing is perfect. And for sure, without doubt, there have been people that have been harmed by vaccines. The question is it worth that risk to continue vaccinating people? Is it worth the risk that the 1 out of X people have received damage? I personally think yes. And I personally think you should proceed with caution. I think there should be a lot of different things that you read about from very educated people about the subject. And the reality is that educated people, for the most part, agree that vaccines are important, but the objective ones are willing to admit that people have been damaged by vaccines before. I have a friend, and her fucking dad has Lyme disease, and he got it from a vaccine. And he got it from a vaccine they don't even use anymore because some people had a genetic predisposition to being adversely affected by this vaccine. So her fucking dad has Lyme disease, man. And he took a vaccine so that he wouldn't get Lyme disease because he was scared of it. His wife took the same vaccine, nothing. She actually got vaccinated from Lyme disease, and it worked. But for him, he got Lyme disease from it. That is in action, benefit and a detraction and a negative effect of vaccines. I think that for the most part, though, look, man, there's a lot of fucking diseases we've eradicated, like polio. There's a lot of shit that we've removed. But now measles are starting to come back. There's certain diseases that we thought we got rid of that people are starting to get. And one of the blames for that is that people aren't vaccinating their kids for measles. And a lot of people were afraid because the word was that it was the measles, mumps, and rubella. That was the one. That was the vaccine that was giving people, all sorts of health problems. And there's been lawsuits, man. That's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of money has been given out in vaccine court for damage that was caused by vaccines. Doesn't mean the vaccines are bad. It's one of those really complicated, nuanced issues where it's not a fucking grand design of eugenics by the elite to control the population and dumb us down. It's not. Sure. It's doctors trying to solve pandemic diseases.
Save human beings, save civilization.
It was one of the more interesting things about my show. was to me getting to talk to these disease specialists and scientists and doctors that were talking about various pandemic diseases and how many people are affected by tropical diseases. They were talking about people in poor, like Africa and tropical environments where like everyone has parasites. Everyone has certain diseases. And like sexual diseases that are super dangerous, like a type of syphilis that you can't cure, and then all these morphing, changing diseases. They're trying to constantly stay on top of these fucking things. And there's diseases like MERS. You ever heard of MERS?
Correct.
There's some disease called MERS that kills literally half the people that it gets infected by, or half the people that get infected with it. There's nutty shit out there, and there's doctors that are scrambling to try to cure these things and try to come up with vaccines. But in the process, sometimes there's damage, you know?
You said you talked about this on one of your shows that came out?
Yeah, on the Joe Rogan Questions Everything show.
That one already aired?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like, let's find this out, payouts. That was, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Okay. Then last week, everybody got mad at me again. That was an okay one. Nobody got mad at me. But then last week was aliens. And everybody was like, dude, you did not provide the... I got all these, how come you didn't show this video? And this guy puts this on my message board. Clearly, this is a wormhole. I'm like, bitch, that's someone's headlights. That's headlights on a dark... Meanwhile, it's like you barely can see what the fuck that is, man.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
I can really imagine the stuff you got to deal with.
Oh, God.
Oh,
what do you got?
OMG.
The amount of fucking people that have been paid out in vaccine court, there's a lot, man.
Payouts.
Yeah, it's like it happens all the time, apparently. Well, not all the time, but it's been millions of dollars. 2 new cases reported here. Vaccine court awards millions to 2 children with autism. Wow. So that's the thing that people say, that no, vaccines don't cause autism, and that's the argument. Like some say it does, and some say it doesn't. I don't know, man. I'm not a fucking doctor. That's a real problem when I look at this kind of data. Is I have this saying that it's terrifying when you're too stupid to know who's dumb. You know,
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this stuff. Because when I read that a court awarded millions of dollars to 2 children with autism. Vaccine court awards millions to 2 children with autism. I read that and I say, okay, well, that means vaccines cause autism? Is that what that means?
Unless they had a couple of shots with autism in it.
But they don't have autism in a shot, as far as I know.
We got the autism.
It says
juice.
Hannah Poling developed an autistic condition after receiving 9 vaccines in one day. Following the U.S. government conceding her case in 2008, her damages are awarded over her lifetime, reported to be $20 million. Oh, my God. I mean, what does that mean then? I don't know what that means. Does that mean that vaccine cause autism? Because that's what it sounds like.
How do they know that she didn't have autism before she got the shots?
That's a good question.
You know.
That's a very good question. And if that's the case, then how the fuck did they award? How did that, how'd that work out? They gave her $20 million. Like, is it just? Then the question is it just bad court decision? Is it just an uninformed
It's like someone
jury?
got a kickback.
Is that what it is? I don't
Who
understand.
knows?
Well, listen to this. Since 1989, and as of January of 2013, over $2.5 billion have been paid out from this vaccine-caused injury and death compensation fund. So $2.5 billion have been paid out from the vaccine-caused injury and death compensation fund. These are numbers that I'm reading off of, like, these are legitimate websites. This isn't like, we're not just making things up. These are not propaganda websites, and they're not trying to hide this. 9,785 claims have been dismissed, and of those claims, 3,982 claimants were paid $52 million to cover their attorney's fees and other legal costs. So they were paid, even the people where the claims were dismissed, they paid their legal fees. Like, what are they doing there? Yeah. Like, are they just saying, listen, bitch, I know you owe a lot of legal money, and just let it go. I know you're tired of fighting this. You're never going to win. I don't know. But it is fascinating. I don't understand it, but I know that, like, when Jenny McCarthy talks about vaccines and causing your kid autism, I have heard dudes who are, like, the most progressive, like, male feminists, like, really, like, kind towards women, say some of the most nasty fucking evil shit to Jenny McCarthy because you're allowed to, because she expresses a very specific opinion about vaccines, and she's obviously not a fucking doctor, and they think that what she's doing is scaring people into not having vaccines and into creating death and illness. Maybe. I don't know, but maybe you need to pay attention to what the fuck I just read.
Yeah.
You know, that seems real. New Jersey girl gets $4.7 million for vaccine injuries. Here's another one. This is from 2002. A New Jersey girl whose mental development was stopped at 2 months old after a routine immunization has received a $4.7 million settlement from a national trust fund. I mean, what the fuck is going on, man? What does that mean? I don't know if that means that. I mean, in my dumb mind, I read that and it doesn't. What's that expression? Causation does not equal something else. What is that expression? How's it go?
No.
Causation doesn't. If you want to seem smart on the internet, you have to repeat this. Causation does not.
Look at that, Jenny McCarthy.
Equal. Okay. Does not imply correlation. So just because something was caused doesn't mean it's correlated with what you're blaming it on. Like there's a lot of other factors involved.
Yeah.
But millions of fucking dollars, man. Billions even given out. So that's my opinion about vaccines. I think they're very, very important. I think the people that are working on vaccines and that are fighting against pandemic diseases are doing an amazing job of keeping people safe, and they've eradicated some really fucking dangerous, horrible pandemic diseases. That said, obviously some people it fucks up, or it seems to at least. And I think it's not an either-or situation. I think people have to be really careful about that. Because if you're rallying against these people that are talking badly about vaccines, but then these facts are real and are available, what are you doing? Like, what are you saying? It's not an either-or. There's a lot of complication here.
A lot of chance, huh?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean, from my uneducated perspective, when I read that, and again, causation does not equal correlation. Note how smart I am. I think that you got to say that there's obviously it's not that cut and dry.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to the Supreme Court because I believe that a wizard made my dick small, and then the Supreme Court gives me $1 billion. That seems, that seems like what was the fucking evidence? I have a small dick, and I shouldn't. So there you go. I mean, you're talking about, it's not that fucking stupid. That's the answer. That's my answer on chemtrails, and it's my answer on vaccines. Two very complicated issues that a lot of people get real fuckery.
Just don't have the good information to say yes or no. Yeah,
it might be that, but it's also that people attach themselves to the shit that they believe.
Yeah. They want something to feel a part of and have something to fight for.
If they said something, if like you say, the fucking rainbows are created by gremlins, bro. And then you start telling people that, and you make a video and you put it on YouTube, man, you're committed to that shit. And there's a lot of people out there committed to some really iffy ideas.
It's crazy shit.
Like, why are you? Are you sure? Are you fucking sure? You shouldn't be sure, man. A lot of fuckery to this world. Like when you said that you think that you create your own destiny, everything happens for a reason. You might be right. Anybody says you're not right is crazy. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Well, you have. So what the fuck do they know? Yeah. Maybe that is how the world works. Maybe the world works by your imagination manifesting reality. Maybe the world works by your intention and your focus, literally changing the world around you, creating things and opportunities that would not have existed or been in front of you if you didn't do that work, if you didn't experience those revelations and evelations of your spirit. Maybe. You don't fucking know. That's possible too. Because the world's not that fucking simple. There's a goddamn reason why when you hear a certain song, it reminds you of a certain time in your life or a certain person you knew, and you have this intense emotional reaction to it, and the beats of the music change your body. There's certain times where you're by yourself and Sweet Home Alabama comes on the radio at just the right time. And when it says turn it up, don't, and it's like changes your body.
Yeah.
It's the world is not just made out of numbers, and it's not just made out of hard surfaces, and it's not just made out of things you can weigh. There's also some weird spiritual aspect to this world.
Yeah.
And I think you manifest a lot of it with your attitude and your behavior and your actions, and I don't know how much of it would have been there without that. I don't know. I think it's both. I think it's both. If a brick drops in your head, it will fucking kill you. That's true too.
100%.
And sometimes shit happens, man. Look, were the dinosaurs asking for that big asteroid to hit? Yeah. No, probably not. I don't know if that. I don't know if it's that simple. I think it's both. It's both. You create your reality, and shit happens. That too. Shit fucking happened. You didn't ask to break your ankle in that fight.
Yeah, that's
why did that happen? That's some shit happens, right?
Crazy. That's why I'm wondering, things are, predetermined for some point that just kind of led me to make the decision, okay, 55 is too low of a weight class. I'm just destroying my body. The injuries are just coming too easy. Maybe if I was at 70, maybe my ankle would have rolled a bit differently and I would have more stability, just cutting weight, depleting the body too much. So that was my last fight at 55, which made me go up to 70. So yeah, who knows?
It could have been, or it could have been that you realized after that you needed to make a change, and being the winner that you are, felt the right path and went down it and succeeded. Because that's what you do. You dust yourself off, you figure out what went wrong, and you move forward. And that's what you did do. Yep. So it could have been things happen for a reason, or it could have been the reason things happen is because you're a winner.
Making the wrong,
but that one you can control.
Yeah.
See, that what I like about that one is that one you can control. And that one seems to make more sense because everybody that I know that has ever succeeded in things,
they're winners.
They're winners. Yeah. They have that ability to fucking figure out how to get up when they don't want to get up. They have that ability to do the things that they have to do, put in the work that they have to put in, get shit done. And the people that don't, we all know super talented fighters that never made it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a lot of guys out there.
Didn't get that shot yet.
There's a lot of guys out there that had that special something and never could put it together. There's a few guys that shone so greatly in like preliminary fights, and you're like, this motherfucker's a world champion. And you're looking at him, you're like, this guy's, and you hear from the people, oh, in the gym he dominates everybody. There's so many fighters like that. Yeah. How many times you heard that about Joe Riggs?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did hear about Joe Riggs. Yeah,
they used to say
he's a badass.
that Joe Riggs used to dominate Rich Franklin in the gym. That they would be sparring, and Joe Riggs would just be lighting Rich Franklin up. But in competition, he had some great fights, and he had some great results, and he had a long career, and he's still a bad motherfucker and a great professional fighter. But if you listen to people talk, they say they make Joe Riggs out to be Anderson Silva. Yeah. They make Joe Riggs out to be some magic man, some dude that on perfect moments, on the right moments. Like I remember talking to Billy Rush before he died. And Billy Rush was training those guys, and he said to me, he goes, he's one of the greatest talents I've ever seen. Wow. He said, this fucking kid can do it all, and he does it all like perfect in spurts in the gym, in when his head's right, and then shit happens in that crazy world of chaos. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't come together for you.
If it's the reason that everything happens for a reason, then there's some people that got dealt some shitty cards. You know what I mean?
No shit, man.
If everything happened for a reason, like there's a lot of things you can't explain.
Yeah, and in the world of prize fighting, I think that shit manifests itself in such a strange and dramatic way, because the difference between winning and losing is so much more extreme than golf or tennis or anything else.
So many more options.
It's not just so many more options; it's so much more devastating results. You can lose a tennis match and you go home and you're fine. Like if you lose an MMA fight, your health can change. The structure of your face looks different. You have to get plates in your face. You have to get your face stitched up.
Can't breathe out of my nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Almost everybody has that, right?
Yeah. I do for sure. I can breathe through
I had mine operated on a few years back.
I had
that done. Sweetest thing I've ever done. All my life I was a mouth breather. I broke my nose when I was like 5. I fell down a flight of stairs, and it was always like, I had a nasal sound to my voice, and I mouth breathed every practice. Everything I ever did was mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Couldn't breathe
That's
out
what
of
I tell these guys. Make sure they're biting down on their mouthpiece. Make sure if you do end up receiving a shot, I want the mouth closed and holding together.
Right.
But so that's one of the main things for sure. I want to make sure that they're biting down the mouthpiece, so we get the mouthpieces that you can breathe through the center of the hole a little bit.
Right.
From Unbreakable, Hector, and Victorville, I think it makes the best mouthpieces. Unbreakable mouthpieces, 100%.
And he makes a double, an upper and lower you breathe out of it.
There
are
impressions on the top and the bottom of your teeth, so your jaw does lock into place. But for mine specifically, I have a little air channel through the center. And I think TJ, do you have yours?
Not yet, but it's not a double. It's a single mouthpiece, but it's got like a little a gap underneath it where you can breathe with your mouth shut.
Oh, that's very smart.
The bottom teeth just don't connect.
Oh, okay, that's very smart.
Yeah, the doubles are a pain, man.
But the doubles are weird. You can't talk in them.
Yeah.
And they used to have that power one. Remember they were saying that it makes your like whips or something.
Oh, whips and brain pad. Yeah.
Makes you stronger. Like, makes you like less.
Yeah, I need that one, dude. I need to go get
bracelets or something that to correct your balance.
You remember those?
Yeah.
Well, they actually say that your jaw alignment does have some impact on how strong you are. Like, I think there's a science behind it. Like, if you have your mouth open and you try to deadlift like, oh, I think literally you're not as strong as if you fucking clamp down.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever deadlifted with my mouth open.
Maybe you should try. It'd be interesting to find out if that works. It might be bullshit,
Yeah.
It might be.
Fuck down.
But I think I read that I think.
How long did it take for your nose to heal when you got it
Not
done?
that long, man. I was rolling 6 weeks later. I had a great doctor. His name was Dr. Feinberg. He retired, unfortunately. He was out here in California. But he did an amazing job. And they use foam now. So it used to be the nightmare was getting the packing out. That pulling the packing out was incredibly painful. Like Lorenzo Fertitta had it that way, and he said that it was like someone was like raking his brain.
Oh wow! Oh, he was
really
awake then.
intensely painful. Well, and they pull the packing out when it's over.
Okay,
they keep it in your nose for like a couple days or something, or a week, or whatever the fuck it is. And it changed the structure of my nose. It made it wider because they cut the inside of it, the tuber, what are the fucking things called?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Those something like
that.
Whatever.
Yeah, so I had to scrape
things
out.
inside. So they scraped them down, and then he put these splints in that like widened my opening. I kept the splints in for like, I don't know, like a couple of weeks or whatever. But after it was open, after he cut out the scar tissue and turbinators, whatever those things were, trimmed
like
it down. It was actually like a wider passage.
Yeah, I want to get this done, man. Because
it's great.
I want to get it done. I feel like my cardio will be better. You
Oh,
know
it will.
What I mean?
100%. There's no doubt about it. It'll be. But then you got to realize you're going to get hit in the nose again.
Yeah, I went and talked to a doctor, and I actually got something done on my nose. I don't know exactly what it's called, but he scraped it like you're talking about, and then he shocked it with radio frequency electricity, and it's supposed to shrink the tissue. And it takes like 6 weeks for it to work.
That's interesting.
My nose is a little bit better, I guess, But I want to get like the full thing done. I think I need to do it after the next fight.
Dude, I've seen pictures of people that did it online where they showed all the meat that they cut out of their nose.
Yeah.
The scar tissue. It's fucking crazy.
Do you think it'll mess with the structural integrity of your nose? Like,
No.
Is your nose still strong, you feel like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's one of the doctors was saying that, obviously it's a doctor's opinion from different. But he was saying that he thinks the structural integrity of my nose would be worse.
I don't think so. I mean, I think, look, your nose is weak anyway.
Yeah.
This little fucking thing, you get shinned in that thing. It's not, whether it's strong, when it's in perfect condition, it's weak as fuck. So go on it from there.
Yeah, no.
And then also go on it from, like, the goal is to not get hit in the face. So let's have an extra incentive. And then now your cardio is going to be, like, a good percentage better,
Which is way more important.
That's huge. And just don't do what Vanderlei did. Vanderlei got his whole, he had to get his whole fucking, that was a perfect example of a guy who had to get his whole face reconstructed.
Yeah.
He had to get his eyebrows scraped down because he was
totally
getting
different
cuts. He had massive scar tissue. They had to remove it.
Nick Diaz also.
But Nick's was not nearly as extreme.
Extreme, yeah.
Nick got his shit shaved down, but then they would put it back together again. He still looked like Nick.
Normal, yeah. Well,
but with
same,
Vanderlei, they had to normal guy. Yeah, I mean just same.
Oh, fuck,
They with Vanderlei, they had to actually take a chunk of his rib and create a piece of cartilage and rebuild his nose. His nose was flat, dude.
That's from not moving your head.
Being an
That's
animal.
from brawling and not moving your head.
Charging forward.
Yeah. So that was one of the things. I actually have a cauliflower in my nose because just how I went to punch my buddy in the belly one time and he kneed, and my nose just swollen up and it went in with the center of it just filled up with blood.
Hard.
And then hardened, just like your ear, cauliflower ear.
It's the same.
So they went in and lanced it, and all this blood just came, rushing out, and then they filled it with looked like a shoelace. And it was they stuffed up in there to suck up the blood and little gaps also. And that was for one of my K1 fights, however long ago that was, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And then I should say recently, but about 3 years ago, I had my nose scraped out actually. And they went in there and he said that the center of my nose was like a snowball in my nose. So he was scared to take more out and my nose would collapse. Wow. So they put little look like little plastic orange slice, put them up in there to keep it structurally sound.
Yeah,
while it healed. Yeah, and then they pulled them out. I felt like it's coming out of my brain. That was nice. Too. Yeah, I gotta have that done again. It's my nose. I still can't breathe through one nostril. The other one's good though. So I have to make sure I have the mouthpiece.
It's just a shitty design.
Yeah.
Why is it so weak? It's on the front of your face.
It's not designed to get punched in the face.
Right?
We're designed to
you gotta think, man.
There's a lot of accidents.
I don't know if we're designed to be punching each other in the face. Yeah.
Well, I broke mine when I was 5. I fell down a flight of stairs and I just smashed my nose on the stair, and from then on it was fucked.
I guess that's why we have the option to breathe through our mouth as well.
I guess, but what a shit design.
Yeah.
Because once I didn't realize how important it was until I got it fixed. And then once I got it fixed, like the idea of being able to breathe my mouth shut was impossible to me. I'd never known it my whole life.
Wake up with a dry mouth in the morning.
Wow, yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like,
this is awesome.
Nice. I like this. Yeah, I could be like that for a while. Then it came back again.
Like I would go to yoga class and they would tell me I'm doing it wrong. Like you have to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The shit doesn't work.
Yeah. I was racing my wife with blowing up balloons one time for one of our kids' birthdays, and she was just smashing me, and I couldn't figure out why.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's because I wasn't opening my mouth. I was bringing the air through my nose, so just slowing down the process by half. So she was just smashing me on the balloon blowing up drill.
Crazy.
So then I had to take it out, and I just won. I had to figure and adapt.
What do you think about all these new technologies that are coming along? We had Ian McCall on. He was talking about some shit called CVAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about some altitude thing thing. It's
okay.
What it does is it mimics.
Sounded crazy, man.
Yeah, sounded really. It mimics. It's a CVAC pod is what it's called, and it does something with like changing the altitude inside the container, and it does like it makes a massive difference in your body's ability to assimilate oxygen.
I mean, I'm kind of up for trying anything. You know what I mean? If it's someone says it works, like I need to try this out. You know what I mean?
Well, Ian's no bullshitter. Yeah. I mean, he's crazy, but he's no bullshitter.
Yeah.
And when he's talking about it, he said it was better than a hyperbaric chamber, which is I know.
I love the hyperbaric chamber, man. Yeah. I hurt my shoulder, and that thing, my cardio, like I did it for injury. I got better faster, but my cardio was insanely good when I started sitting in the hyperbaric chamber. Like I noticed a big difference.
Yeah, I've heard amazing results as far as like the ability to heal from stuff.
I wish I could afford to be in it all the time.
Really?
Dude, I would do it. If I could do it once a week, if not more, I would do it.
Don't they make them where you can get it for the gym?
They're not the hard chambers. They're the soft chambers. They don't work as well. You can't get as much like the hard chambers is 100% oxygen, and they can put you down to like 2 atmospheric pressures to be low, you know, and the soft chambers they can't do that. So it doesn't work as well. It works, but not as well as the hard chambers.
What is the variation?
What do you mean?
In between how much better the hard chamber works than the
it's supposed to be so much better. I don't even know exactly, but I've done a little bit of the soft chambers, and I can tell a big difference when I'm sitting in the hard chamber.
And where would you go to do that? Do you go to a chiropractor?
No.
You go to
there's places that do hyperbaric chambers. That's what they do. They just only do hyperbaric chambers. And it was in Sacramento. I got prescribed through it from my physical therapist. He's the one that told me about it.
Are they stupid expensive?
Oh yeah,
like $100,000 or something crazy.
Oh yeah, to buy one of them, probably a couple $200,000. And then you got to fill the oxygen all the time. So for me, if I went to go do an 1.5-hour dive, I found the cheapest place to do it, and it's still $200 for an 1.5 hours.
Wow,
that's what's always good about Colorado with high altitude.
Yeah,
no matter where you go, you're always good.
Yeah, but it's the pressure though.
Yeah, the pressure itself.
So it's 100% oxygen, and the pressure supposedly like speeds up the molecules of healing, and then the way your body absorbs the oxygen. I can't even tell you the science behind it, but all I know is it works, dude, and it's supposed to be great for your brain.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard nothing but amazing.
I feel like my handwriting got better when I was sitting in there. Not joking, you dude. I started science. I was like, oh dang, my handwriting. I mean, it could just be a coincidence.
I can use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my penmanship sucks.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be, according to Ian, this is even better. It's called cyclic variations in adaptive conditioning, CVAC. And it's some crazy pod that you lay in, and using proprietary pattern sequences, pressure is increased and decreased to simulate low altitudes and high altitudes. And as pressure increases, the volume of oxygen in the air naturally increases. Air is thicker and warmer. And as pressure decreases, the volume of oxygen naturally diminishes, and the air is thinner and cooler. And they hypothesize that these changes stimulate an individual's natural adaptation response to environment. And the experience is unique to the individual, but it's apparently has massive effects on healing. And there's even scientific findings that were published in medical literature. So it's not like just crazy nonsense that some wacky dude wants to.
There's probably not very many places to do this, right?
I don't think so. I think there's only a few. He was saying that there's let's look
looks like
locations.
The Chemtrail guy.
Clearly,
this
is only one way to survive chemtrails. You have to get inside the CVAC machine. This is what the elites are using to protect themselves from the barium being sprayed. Whoa.
Damn.
It's crunching.
It's from the pressure.
See, that doesn't seem like it's a good idea.
Well, that's because you're not a doctor, you sick fuck. What, are you giving out fucking advice?
I hope your body's stronger than that water bottle.
So there's several of these things in North America. There's 9 locations in the California area.
Oh, wow.
Anything in Northern?
I'm trying to find it. This website sucks a fat one. Boy, you have terrible website, you fuckheads. And your locations, how about you just list phone numbers instead of having this stupid map that you have to zoom in and out of? This is terrible.
Phone numbers and websites.
You fuckheads. You guys should go to Squarespace. Get your shit
That's
together.
sponsor plug.
So there's one in a private residence in Redmond, Washington. Why would you say that? Tell us where this dude lives so you can knock on his door? Yo, bro, my fucking ankle hurts.
I need to use your machine.
Can I borrow your shit, son? It says 9 locations here. Zoom in for details. How do I zoom in, bitch? Why isn't it not letting me zoom in? Because it sucks. Because your website sucks a fat one. Oh, now I'm in Spain. I zoomed in and I'm in Spain.
Nice.
How about
You're
fuck
fast.
you? How about fuck you? Fuck you, dummies. I don't really believe that. I don't mean fuck you. I'm just saying that for effect.
Shock effect.
If they're listening to this, he was talking really great about our product, but then we started criticizing our website, and it really hurt my feelings. And he's with those MMA guys. I think they get aggressive when they get together.
Definitely.
Those MMA guys.
Yeah, product of your surrounding. It's like when we were training at the gym, I felt like I was a gangster. Now I feel pretty relaxed.
Yeah, well, that was well, you get gangster when you teach it.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, he does,
Definitely
man.
good, yeah.
You got to watch out.
That's good stuff.
Well, you obviously love it, you know,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
that's exactly what you need. I think it's such an amazing thing, the ability to sort of mold young fighters, and that for a guy like me who loves martial arts as an art, you know, as an art form, it really is an art form. I know people go, "How is it an art form when you're injuring people?" It's not watercolors, asshole.
Yeah, but you're good enough to do it to not injure people too. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You're good enough at the art to where you could do it without injuring someone. You could defend yourself without hurting someone.
Well, sure, if a dork attacked you, like say if some dude who was like really good at Dungeons and Dragons and he fucking went spaz on you and rushed you, it's like, I'm going to bite him.
So I have it in my head if it ever came to the point, outside the gym or the cage or something, if I had to fight in the street or defend myself,
Just choke him out.
you choke them out or just punch them in the gut. Like how many normal people actually get punched in the gut? Just knock the wind out of them.
And you'd have to be
then
really
make a photo,
diligent. Like you
tweet it.
don't want to just tee off on some asshole
No,
because
no.
he started to fight with you. It's so hard to repress that. But we've all been in a situation where some drunk dude is clearly fucked up, is talking so much shit, and you're like, I could just uncork one on this guy's face, and he's not going to see it coming. But you can't do that.
The best way to, you'll get in trouble. I'll get in trouble, man.
Yeah, of course.
Not
only that, I just fucking pulled up MMA.com and fucking mixedmartialarts.com, and Cerrone's in trouble.
For that.
He head kicked some dude on a dock.
No.
Yeah, some guy got stupid with him. There was some...
He threw a head kick?
Yeah, apparently he shinned him. That's the rumor. I'm talking shit, Donald. I'm sorry if I got the details wrong.
Yeah.
But I think Brian Callen told me he head kicked somebody. Maybe somebody else told me.
I tried to put myself in those scenarios, just even around that element of that.
I mean, if you're beating someone up on the street and you decide to do a head kick, that's
What
pretty
a
crazy.
huge fucking mistake. Out of all the people to fuck with on a dock, you look at this skinny dude with a cowboy hat. You're like, hey man, fuck you and your fucking boat, faggot. Next thing you know, clang.
Oh, man.
That shin bounces off the side of your
I'm sure he had to
fucking
do
head.
something pretty bad, too, because Cerrone's a pretty cool dude. He had to piss him off pretty bad.
Like, there's a lot of douchebags out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very unfortunate. It's really hard to develop a human being. I think you know that, and I know that. It's
Having children now is definitely strange.
Yeah, it's
Changed me.
It absolutely does, right?
Yeah, I've had to hold this guy back a couple of times. You know what I mean?
I almost always get into fights. Huh?
Always.
Really?
Dude,
Like where?
always.
I just anywhere. I just feel people should respect one another and help each other out. And when it doesn't happen, I'm just like, this guy's kind of a dick face. And I'll speak up about it, and that's just.
And then people get mad.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of dick faces out there, and they don't like to hear that. People don't like to be criticized.
Yeah.
It's hard to someone calls you hey man, you're being a dick face to that lady. And you're like, yeah, you're right. You know, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's like admitting, something, about rods. It's like it's like so many things. It's like being wrong sucks. People don't like being wrong.
Yeah.
So they argue. Like there's a guy named Michael Shermer, who's this famous skeptic, who has this very interesting quote about smart people defending dumb ideas. The smart people, there's a lot of very intelligent people that believe really stupid things, and the reason being is that they're smart enough to convince themselves that they're right.
Okay, yeah.
And they're smart enough to defend that stupid thing. And it's kind of an interesting point of view,
The
but
belief factor.
but
placebo
it makes sense. It's fucking hard for people to say they're wrong.
So I think that's good. A good talent for an athlete as well. Whether you have the skills or not, believe that you have the skills to win the fight, or win the world title, or pull yourself through that.
Well, I think also
go
as a
either
fighter,
way.
it's super important to be absolutely objective about your skill set. You can't, like we were talking about observing fights and watching fights, and you have to be objective. Yeah, you can't say, hey, I'm watching TJ Dillashaw. I love that dude, so I'm looking at him in a way that's not. I'm just looking. Everything's perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just loving watching him win. That's not the right way to do it, and you know
Correct,
that. So
yeah.
you have to step back. And what is he doing wrong, and how do I get my friendship out of the way and look at this objectively?
That's why I do have the fighters watch the film. I have my buddy in Colorado, Mike Temple, watches the film, and it actually kind of happened by accident because I watched the film, I'll make notes, and I watched the same fight again while I was high, and didn't realize that I made notes. So I made notes again, and then I looked at the notes, and I had two sets of notes. One I remember being high, and one I remember not being high, and I realized there was a difference. Now, was there a difference because I just watched it the second time or the third time or whatever time it was, or was the difference because of weed? So I was like, well, fuck, man, maybe there's something to this. So I started watching the fights while I was sober, while I was high, and I was like, well, fuck, man, Onnit sponsors me. Take some alpha brain, watch it again, just to compare notes, just to make sure. I want to make sure I'm making the best decisions for these guys.
And it could be also make this whether you're awake or whether you're tired.
There's many elements that could change my view, my perspective on that particular
factor
fight.
in everything, right?
Yeah.
Whether you enjoy a song, you have to be in the right mood for the right kind of. There's a lot of
100%.
different kinds of music that I'm sure we all like. You're in the right mood. Yeah, it's like it's not even a good. It's like now is a good time for that. Like sometimes I don't want to watch fights. Sometimes I want to watch, fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm. Hey. Sometimes I can't believe a fuck. He's like talk about professionals at split-second openings. Yeah. With this fuck, but you gotta really be on your toes.
One thing, like I do believe weed has a lot of benefits to it, and I started because I was getting major injuries, and I didn't want to actually take the pain pills I was being prescribed for my surgeries. So that's why I started, investigating weed and marijuana, and that would help that to calm me down.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yes.
Because that's another issue that I think is really important. Because I keep hearing about fighters that are having problems with pain pills.
I think 100% people are. I had back-to-back major fucking surgeries lined up. And I broke my jaw, broke my ankle, tore up my knee. I had my neck surgery. I had like a couple good ones. Broke my hand a couple times. So I've had multiple fucking surgeries. I want to hear a good one, actually. This is a long time ago. When Boss was training for Kevin Randleman, he came to Colorado for high-altitude training. And I was one of his main sparring partners. And I'm like, I don't know, 155, 160 maybe. I don't know. Maybe we were just scrapping, right? But anyway, I'm training with my other buddy, Kiyotaka Komatsu, who's a Japanese Kyokushin karate black belt. And I was sparring, I threw a round kick, and he threw a front kick while I was throwing the round kick. The issue was I was not wearing my cup. Oh! So my right ball actually broke. So I had my buddy Oscar Martinez throw me in the car. I didn't go down. I still stood my ground. I got in the car. I'm having my buddy Oscar take me like going opposite directions of one ways and stuff, and got me to the hospital. And they did like an emergency surgery. So lesson learned here: wear a cup, gentlemen. You know what I do is I take, talking about the cup issue and stuff in the fights. I take one of those tie cups, a steel tie cup, and I put that in a regular envelope, like a Shock Doctor envelope cup, and just put that on. And then I put tight shorts over that to hold it in place. And then my little the shorts I wore in my King of the Cage fight would say Little Boss on them. I still wore those for every fight, kickboxing and MMA. Those are my lucky shorts. So I put my steel cup in my Shock Doctor envelope, and then put that on, and then my tight shorts over that, and then my fight shorts. So that's what I always wear.
Do you ever try Diamond?
Dude, they're awesome.
No,
yeah,
they're awesome.
Diamond's incredible, and they just released a new, improved version of it. For folks who never heard of it, if you're doing jiu-jitsu or anything, I seriously recommend this. It's a compression short that they have this really well-designed cup that fits in. There's videos on the website of the dude taking tie kicks to the nuts. Wow. It's a really
by far
good
the best
product.
I've worn.
Yeah, for me, it's made it a huge difference in jiu-jitsu. It took my balls completely out of the equation.
Yeah, you can't even finish arm bars if you're not wearing a cup most of the time.
Yeah, it fucking hurts. Yeah. So it's true.
So one of the things, I started getting major injuries and then getting surgeries, and I didn't want to take the pain pills. Although I did take some of them, and I had when I broke my jaw, I was taking some kind of liquid pain pill. I don't know what it was, but that's when I started my venture into weed. So it was just to get through the night so I could sleep, but it does fuck with my memory, man. I was having the next day having an issue holding combinations for these guys and stuff, and just not remembering dates and stuff. So it did fuck with me personally. I caught in my memory, and I don't think it's for everybody because I'm very, very high strung and try to get shit done all the fucking time. So I think if somebody is already predisposed to be a slightly bit lazy, this is not for you. 100%. Weed's not for everybody.
Dude, it affects him differently though.
He'll get stoned. It calms me the fuck down. I enjoy it. Yeah, this is me all the fucking time. Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. It doesn't work on him, dude. It's like a reverse effect. Like most people get stoned, they'll sit on the couch, they'll get hungry, not want to go.
I'll start doing combos and shit.
This guy's shadow boxing in the room, just like.
But you know what? I've figured things out about my body when I'm high. I figured out certain stretches that I need. Like I feel like ooh, you know what? I'm tight right here. Like I've figured shit out, and then as you're feeling your body more, I'm like, you know what? I got to incorporate that more. And then certain techniques, like kicking techniques, I've gone over them high, and I feel the weight transfer better. Because you know how when you shin a bag, when you really whip your hip into it. There's certain times where you get it perfect, and there's certain times where it's a little off, a little weird. But then there's times when you just feel it, and you just got that.
Yeah, I felt it from you today.
Yeah, so you can fucking kick,
his
man.
Kicks are amazing. Rogan's kicks are awesome.
We're doing some basic footwork drills and stuff, and it's not what you typically would do for you personally. So we get to the point where drills can we do some kicks? Yeah. All right. fucking wham! Like, holy shit, wham! I was like, fuck, you can freaking kick, man. I already know this from the spin kick videos and stuff. And then I got a video also of you demonstrating the spin kick. So that was awesome. Thanks, man. That was
please, thank you, man. It was really fun learning from you. But yeah, I've been kicking shit since I was a baby.
You can fucking kick, man. It's awesome. You can fucking kick. You're an athlete for sure.
Well, it's just that's my body developed doing that. I mean, I was a boy when I learned how to kick, so I was all. That's what I was talking about, like the dexterity, the ability to move your body in a certain way
as you're doing martial arts.
Like you're an amazing kicker, but you were having a hard time. Like when I was trying to show you axe kicks, or I was trying the spin kicks. It's an awkward way for you to move. Whereas my body's done that since I was a child. It's
that's
like
what I want.
Ballet.
Little Dwayne Bang. If he's laying down and I'll start slapping him, not hard. Right?
He's walking around.
Wake up!
Pushes him over.
No tomorrow, Little Bang.
He'll armbar me, so it's cool, man. Like I'm already training him to do what he wants. You know, people always ask me, "Is Dwayne Bang going to be a fighter?" Little Dwayne Bang, and I'm like, if he chooses to, whatever his passion's going to be, I'm going to support
He's
it.
going to be a tap dancer.
Well, that's good. That's beautiful.
That's
hey, even if he's going to be a tap dancer,
best.
If I had a gay son, as long as he was happy, I would way rather have a gay happy son than a depressed daughter or a depressed straight son or what happy. So you can really give a fuck about like if your kid. Like I joke around about my daughter being a lesbian, and my wife gets upset. She's like, "Don't say that." I go, "Why?" I go, "What if she likes Batman? She likes wrestling. She wrestles all the time. She's super aggressive."
I
have two daughters. One of them is like really very girly, and the other one, I have a 17-year-old as well, but who's much more creative and artistic.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
But the youngest one is a fucking brute, man. She's hyper aggressive. She like leaps off the bed and like she takes my back.
Nice.
Like she's 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's a lesbian. And my wife's like, stop it. But I'm like, look, if you love lesbians, okay, I have zero problem with people being gay. Yeah. So why would I care? And a lesbian, like, it's really kind of like not even criticized in society. Yeah. I mean, a little by assholes, but it's not like being a gay man where you get beat up. Who gets beat up for being a lesbian? I'm sure someone has been, so I apologize if you have. You fucking asshole! I was beat up last week for being a lesbian. But the reality is, even straight guys love lesbians. You know, everybody loves lesbians. Lesbians can kiss in public. Nobody gives a shit. They go, whoa. You know, there's a few cunty girls like, yeah, look at them showing off. Yeah.
You can't tell she's a lesbian this early. That's
of course I can. I'm just joking, dude.
Yeah, but if
there's a lot of shit I say that's not true. You understand that?
Do you say it a lot? Though? You don't say it in front of her, do you?
No, but that's
on fire like specific music. And
he's just telling her you're gonna be a lesbian.
You're gonna be a fighter. You're gonna be.
She loves mermaids and flowers. It's a joke.
I'm very curious to see what my children are gonna turn into or become, or what they are now, and if they're gonna be able to express that as an adult. Like I'm pretty sure little Dwayne Bank's gonna be a fighter. He's already got gloves and stuff.
Just
and
train him like
he's in the gym all the time. Him and TJ are best buddies. He knows that he knows Faber. He goes Faber and TJ and Buckles, and so he knows the fighters at the gym. He loves being at the gym. He loves the martial arts. He's got his own little mouthpiece. He's a little bit OCD about some things already. You know.
I wonder where he gets that from.
And then my daughter Jay, like she's an artist. She's just drawing and coloring all the time. So that's why I tell her, you know, we're all artists. You know, we're martial artists, and she's an actual artist. So you know, it's good. I want to hopefully when they get older, they can express, they can be who they want to be, and not be stuck in some shitty job that they're unhappy with.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always fucking happy because I get to basically do what I want every day.
Yeah, finding something that you can express yourself in. And it's whatever you gravitate towards. If it's fucking flower arrangements, I mean, whatever the fuck it is, man. I don't know what makes someone like a certain kind of music. Like, I don't like the Grateful Dead, man. I don't. I've tried. I don't like it. It doesn't mean I hate people. I love a lot of friends who love the Grateful Dead. That's fine. But it's for whatever. It doesn't fucking work with me. You know, look, I like Dwight Yoakam. I like a lot of shit. If you're a friend of the devil, a friend of mine.
I'll be home.
They actually played that on the helicopter ride that I went on in Maui, and I was like, "Are you really doing this to me, you fuckhead?" This guy is actually a podcast fan, so shout out to our driver. It was kind of weird having a podcast fan fly us around in Maui,
awesome.
Talk about the podcast.
Yeah, I bet the helicopter ride was awesome, though. Huh?
Oh, it's insane.
That's cool.
Maui, I was in Maui last week. That's why there was no podcast. But
nice.
Me and my family went on a flight on a helicopter over Malachi.
Yeah.
And Malachi only has like a couple thousand people on the whole island. Yeah. And a lot of them are like campers. They just go there and camp because they can live there for free, and they live off the land. They fish and they hunt.
That's cool.
And there's fresh guava and mangoes and all these different plants that are just growing there, and they hunt hunt wild pigs and there's wild sheep and all these sorts of different animals that you can they hunt and fish and eat fresh fruits.
Awesome
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And apparently people go there and they take a boat and they just stay there for months and months at a time, and it's legal.
I want to go. Actually, I have an affiliate in Hawaii, so hopefully I get to go there and go do my seminar with Mike Bickers. So I got affiliates all throughout the U.S. I actually have an affiliate in Thailand also, so it's kind of cool branching out.
Yeah, that's a photo that I took from on my Instagram.
Oh wow, that's badass.
For when we were flying
that
over
looks like
Malachi.
the drive to Hana almost.
Yeah,
is that the way? Like, you know, did you do the
that's
drive
a different
to Hana?
island.
Oh, okay.
That was I'm pretty sure that was when we got to Malachi. We flew over Maui and then we went to Malachi. This is in Maui. This is one of the craters that you fly over. It's fucking insane. It's insane because like Hawaii looks incredibly beautiful from the ground. You know, you just get out of your car and you're like, wow, this is amazing. But when you're above it and you realize how weird it is, like that this thing just popped up out of the ocean, and that really what it is.
Oh, the volcano.
It's like one of the biggest mountains in the world by volume. It just happens to be in the middle of the ocean. And it's just fucking volcano just jutted out in the middle of the 5,000 miles. 5 hours by plane from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere to go. Like you and these crazy Polynesian motherfuckers got there on boats.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why they're so tough.
That's so gangster.
Yeah, it's probably just part of it for sure.
They got there 1,500 years ago, man.
Wow.
1,500 years ago, these fucking guys got there by boat. And they did it more than once. They knew how to navigate the ocean. Back then, 1,500 fucking years ago.
It's crazy what people have done, dude.
And they made these boats, dude. They have like there's an aquarium in Maui where you can go see the boats that they created. Like they have replicas of them. It's a fucking log.
Wow.
It's a fucking log. It's a hollowed out log, and they had like nets that they created that they made themselves, and they would take a year to make a fucking net, and they would like set these nets and just go out there and hope that they would catch enough fish to keep their fucking children alive.
Yeah, because it took you a year to build that net.
How long did it take you to go 1,500 miles by canoe?
Damn.
I mean, could you even cover 10 miles a day? How many miles do you cover in a day canoeing?
Yeah.
Yeah? 10? What do you think, 50? How much do you think?
Oh, more than that.
Forget the place in Ohio. It used to be, I think, like 7
100?
miles.
I mean, you should be able to canoe more than you can walk. And I just last 5 days walked 120 miles up in the Rubies.
Right, that's right. You were just saying that your deer hunting experience.
Yeah.
So how many miles do you think you could canoe? Should we say?
I'd say
if you're really going gangster, 100 miles a day.
So,
you could, I think.
I've never canoed. I'm not quite sure what it takes.
You're gonna be tired. I mean, you're gonna be tired.
I'd say it's like a boat or a bike.
Upstream, downstream, wind.
Right, you got to deal with those.
Waves,
so let's say
elements.
best case scenario, you're going gangster, and while you're catching fish and feeding your
Down the
family,
Nile.
you're going 100 miles a day.
Wow.
It would take you 15 fucking days to get all the way out there to the middle of the ocean and find Hawaii.
And then how many calories would you need to do that as well, and then make it
Oh,
back? So you got to get out there, eat the
googly
fish, come back,
moogly.
right? So there's a couple of key factors in that.
It would be insane.
15 days of gangster paddling.
I did 5 days of it.
Yeah, it's such
I
a good
did
workout.
a hunt with Steve Ranella for that show Meat Eater, and we went down the Missouri, and we paddled like most of the way. Oh, it was a brutal workout. It's great. Like your shoulders get sore. You could treat it as a workout and really get gangster with it, and really like I was treating it as a workout. I was I'm just not gonna like just paddle our way, enjoy the scenery. I was like, I'm not working out while I'm here, so let's get a workout in. So I made it a race. Brian Callen was rowing on the other one. I was just crushing that fool. Just leaving it behind.
Everything's the competition, right? Everything's a
competition.
competition. Like I'm gonna win this shit. Yeah, it's one thing. The marijuana helped me to relax and be able to enjoy. I look at things so many different. Look at things so differently now. Well, not now. I actually stopped weed for a while now, so I'm just kind of debating on if I was taking too much or what strand or what. But it definitely allowed me to appreciate life, be able to relax and play with the kids a bit more. And food tastes better, drinks taste better. I can relax. I'm not OCDing about shit that I can't control right now. So
you medically need it.
Possibly. I mean, if I say, as long as fuck my memory, I'm holding mitts for these guys. Today's modern day fucking ninjas right here. So if I miss a mitt and they punch me in the face, that's going to be an issue. So I got to be on point with things for sure. Even though I tell the guys, even if I do hold the mitts on the wrong side, the striker needs to control their strike, and that's just the way it has to be. So it's just one of those things. But I want to there for them.
I'm a big fan of light edibles, dose edibles. That's what I've been doing lately.
How many milligrams?
Not getting crazy. See, that's the problem, man. You buy these fucking cookies from these assholes. You don't know what the fuck you're getting.
Colorado was pretty consistent and on point.
Yeah, well, it's consistent and on point with like certain shit. Like you go to LA Speedweed, they have these gummy bears. You can guarantee
Where you
pretty
at, LA
much
Speedweed?
LA Speedweed's gummy bears have a spit. And if you know it and you're used to it, you might want to bite one in half. You might want to eat the whole one.
But it's also based on so many other things other than just the content. Like how much did you eat, your hydration levels. There's like so many other factors that there's no way to...
Your own personal tolerance, too.
Your own personal tolerance.
Because if you eat it a lot, you can do a lot more than a person who doesn't.
What would you think about this as far as marijuana? You think it's for not? I mean, like, you're gonna say no, of course, because that's the correct answer. But it's not for everybody. Like some people shouldn't be fucking smoking weed. Some people are just dumb fucks,
dude.
And I'm not the smartest guy either. I'm not. You know, like, I went to high school and that was it. Like no college education, but I definitely was able to pursue what I felt was correct for me and my path being a martial artist.
And do you love what you do?
I fucking love what I do. How many times have I not said that shit? Yeah, motherfucker.
I think nothing's for everybody. I don't think orange juice is for everybody.
Yeah. So I think there needs to be a test. You know,
my fucking kid hates orange juice.
Peanuts isn't for
Ask her what she
everybody.
wants.
But people might like orange. People
juice.
might like orange juice and not be able to fucking tolerate it either.
Exactly.
You know? So that's a problem.
I give her apple juice. She goes crazy. She loves it.
Yeah.
Apple juice is her favorite.
I got
But
a couple
orange juice
people that just
sucks. She
fucking-
fucking looks at you trying to feed her a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
Look, it's not for everybody. Coconuts are not. I
Yeah.
love coconut water. I've given it to people and they want to throw up.
So that's got to be a thing as far as legalizing it. You know, for sure. I think people should be able to make their own decisions. But man, you know, there are reasons for rules and guidelines and such because some people just need to be told what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I don't
Or
think there
people are
should
gonna
be
run off the
rules
fucking
and
cliff.
guidelines. I think there should be counseling.
Because some people just don't fucking know right or wrong.
Well, I think there should
Right or wrong
be
perspective.
education for sure.
Yeah,
and I
there
also
is gonna be
think
education.
we're dealing with very complicated issues where you're altering human neurochemistry through psychedelics. Whether it's, I mean, people don't want to think of marijuana as a psychedelic. It is without a doubt a psychoactive substance, and if you eat it in large doses, it's as psychedelic as anything. If you don't believe that, you're fucked. Because if you do take it and you're not ready, you're gonna get an experience very unlike like a regular like just get high, smoke a joint. So I think that anything like that can fuck you up, and anything that could fuck you up mentally, we should tread with caution. And because of the fact that we don't have education, we don't have centers where someone can go and they can say, well, in a controlled environment, you and your friends, what we would like to do is we're going to bring you in here. We have a very specific level of marijuana we're going to give you. And we're going to work you up to where we think you can handle it. So you could be in a comfortable, safe environment. Like, hey, have you guys gone to the marijuana fucking treatment center yet? Whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, it turns out I'm good with one gummy bear. One gummy bear is perfect. You know, I found out what it is. You know, we went too far one day and I started thinking about my childhood. It was a little fucked up, but I think I learned from that too. You know, like, but this way at least you would get an educated experience, and we don't. Now we're like figuring it out for ourselves. Whereas if you buy Tylenol, you know what the fucking dose is. It's real simple. It's right there on the label. I take 4 Advils when I got a headache. You know what the fuck you're supposed to take. It's 800 milligrams.
Yeah, some people don't. Some people are just retarded.
Well, anything can be abused.
Yes.
Like I've trained too much. Like I didn't really know my reserve. I was pushed too hard and broke my own body down. Like I have low tests. We were talking about. I have when I had my testosterone checked, I was 105 or 103. I forgot. Like super fucking low.
That's crazy.
That's
low.
just from from what I understand, from what I was told anyways, that head trauma, severe weight cutting, redlining your body, and then of course steroids or taking too much steroids when you need to. I've got 3 of the 4 fucking symptoms right there: head trauma, severe weight cutting, and redlining your body. So
jerking off like a maniac, jerking off like a zoo monkey on heroin. Yeah, that could do it too. That'll drain your balls. Your balls struggle to keep up.
Spark it for next thing. What's this?
That's 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, we turn into a pumpkin.
Okay, nice. Can I plug my affiliates real quick?
Fuck yeah.
My man. Okay,
well,
so
DwayneBang.com is where they can go and find everything.
DwayneBang.com. Right? Yes, and I got some affiliates. I just had my buddy Alberto Crane in Burbank. You know Alberto Crane?
Sure, yeah.
He just became an affiliate. And then I got Ben Schistler in Westminster, Colorado.
Nice.
We got Boyd in Phuket, Thailand. Mike Bickers in Hawaii. Brian Beaumont in Yuma, Arizona. Jeff Fairbanks in Alaska. And James Henry in Radford, Virginia. I got James Johnson.
Okay, no one's going to remember these.
Okay, well,
but DwayneBang.com, they will remember.
Go check it out.
DwayneBang.com, and they have all of your affiliates up there. And like you said before, I think it's really interesting. You set up your structure for your lessons every week, and then they
record that shit, send it out to them.
Yeah, I got to film a lot of those videos.
Yeah, he's
so you give away belts and shit too?
Yeah, I have a ranking structure, colored ranked shirts,
dope.
white, blue, purple, brown,
Who's gotten
black.
a black belt in Dwayne Bang?
Only one guy. That's
Wally
McDonald in my West Coast or my East Coast headquarters. He's Chris Herzog as well. They're a 10th Planet affiliate.
What about my man TJ Dillashaw?
He's
Where's
actually
he
got a
at?
blue belt.
Oh.
Yep. So maybe purple belt soon. Maybe.
And then you're gonna go brown, black, just like
white,
jiu-jitsu?
blue, purple, brown, black.
Nice,
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah, I got my
That's
shit
cool.
laid out, man. I broke it down into a science and a structure for
Well,
sure.
that's a big thing about the Holland style, the Dutch style of Muay Thai.
Yeah, it's more
very
European
systematic.
based.
I trained with Rob Kamen a bunch of times.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob's the man. I learned a lot from his actual VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I got from Century or whatever. I used to watch those fuckers all the time.
I was really impressed at like the way he structures his combinations is very technical. It's like, left hook, right leg kick, this position, that
Crossbody
position, this,
attacks.
that. It's like the way you sort of picture it, and then once you train with a guy who's explaining that stuff to you, and then you watch a fight, you could see it take place.
Yes.
We watch like Remy Wonjowski, you watch like certain type fighters, and you go, oh, I see what he just did there. Like there's a Ernesto Hoost highlight reel where he had the best left hook, right leg combo
Yes.
ever. He would just slap, whack. He would just set that up so beautiful.
Mr. Perfect.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
That's
He's a good guy, too. He's
Fucking,
cool.
He's very cool.
I like him.
Very nice, very friendly. But that fucking leg kick highlight. Pull that shit up. We'll close with this. Pull that up on YouTube.
It's cool for me to
Ernesto Hoost leg kick highlight.
What's cool for me is to be such a fan of Ernesto, and then one time in Japan I seen him, and then he knew who I was. So I was like, oh fuck, man, that's pretty cool.
That is
yeah,
pretty
that was
badass.
cool.
Yeah, he knew who I was too. I was
See,
like,
yeah,
holy
well,
shit,
you're much
I'm
more
a
popular
little
than I
dork.
am.
Yeah, but I'm still I'm a kickboxing dork.
Yeah, but you're popular as fuck.
Yeah, you watch this. You watch Ernesto with these fucking leg kicks, man. That's not it. Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, it is. This
Learned
is
some of that today.
There it
that's
is.
this is just the
Remy.
beginning of it before it actually shows the video. This is just the showing the highlight, and then it goes into this part where it skip it ahead a little. Here it is. Watch these.
Mirko.
Yeah, he fought Mirko a couple times.
Yeah, those Kimbo guys all fought each other just on
Yeah.
routine basis, man.
Oh, Jesus!
That's because he's
Owie!
backing up though.
Dude, they're so owie though.
I'd rather get hit with a baseball bat.
They're so owie. And the way he
Very
chops down with it, man.
Yeah, a 3/4 drop.
It's so like whip-like.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like he was hitting you with a fucking mace or something. Here it is. Oh, Jesus!
Like Bernardo.
That fucking left hook, right leg combo is so nasty and so beautiful to watch. Like, you want to talk about martial arts? That motherfucker is a ballerina.
Yes,
I
yeah.
mean, that shit is like way cooler than anything Barishnikov's
Perfect.
ever done. Look at that.
He's a big
Boom!
big
Are you
ballerina.
kidding me?
Francisco Filo.
For a big dude, too many
yes.
fast.
Yeah.
And
he's a
that
fucking athlete.
combo is so gorgeous. The left hook, right leg kick. Always,
Nice.
over and over again with that combo. And he would shut motherfuckers down. Like Philo, look at him here. He's like, Jesus.
That's what sucked when Bob Sapp beat him. I was like, fuck, that broke my heart, man.
Well, he got bum rushed by a gorilla.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If you've never seen
man.
that fight, Bob Sapp didn't even look like a human being. He was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
biggest any fighter
on
has
McClure?
ever been. He was on everything that ever existed. He was on. He was 370 pounds of Mexican supplements just stacked into a man. It's a beautiful thing, though. Again, I mean, I don't think that it's good that Bob Sapp did that, but I think that it's good that we got to see what happens when a guy that big can do that.
Can hit.
Even a guy like Ernesto Hoost, you can't stop that bum rush. That big crazy fuck is just gonna fucking Donkey Kong you into the ground. And he did it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did it. Yeah.
They did it with like very little MMA experience, very little
Yeah.
kickboxing experience.
That's what sucks.
What doesn't though?
Yeah, that breaks my heart, man. Look up to Ernesto Hughes so much, and then for him to get beat from somebody who's technically on paper not as good, like that just sucks.
It shows you how gangster Krokop is.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Krokop,
Krokop finished him.
Especially back then.
Yeah.
Timing, accuracy.
He was also
placement.
physically strong enough to keep the dude away.
Push him off.
Yeah,
His
push him,
push-off was
and he
solid.
had this like aggressive style. Krokop was also like, he's like a sniper. Like he leaps in and cracks you with shit. Whereas like Ernesto would be more technical and would block shit. You can't stand in front of that dude. You just can't stand in front of him.
stand
So
in
a
front of
style like Mirko's, where you like leap in with a head kick or leap in with one punch or one kick, just full power blast. Not as technical, So when he fought,
work.
Ernesto, it wasn't the right style for Ernesto. But when he fought Bob Sapp, is a better style. There's also the factor that Bob had already fought a bunch of guys, and how long can you really keep that much supplements in your system.
Mexican supplements in your system.
You know, I mean,
a couple elements to
there's
that,
never
yeah.
been a human that big inside of a ring. Show the picture of Bob Sapp if you've never seen it. So
And he's a sweetheart of a guy too,
great
man.
guy,
Bob
great
Sapp's
guy,
cool, man.
and it's really unfortunate watching him fight now because it seems like he just goes down.
Oh, he's still fighting?
He's lost like some insane amount of fights in a row.
I thought he made a good chunk of change.
No, I don't
with
think he
the-
did. I think
Oh,
he
man.
also had a lot of
That's
problems.
always a misconception.
Well, I think he was
Yeah.
making good money in Japan for a while, but then I think he ran into some problems with them. And remember, there was that one K1 event where he wouldn't come out and fight.
Yeah, they didn't prepay him or something.
Well, they wanted him to sign a contract before he fought.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was some. Look at
Jesus.
the fucking size of him. Are you kidding me? Is that the biggest a guy's ever been inside the ring?
For sure.
Big human being right there.
That's insane.
For sure.
370 with abs.
Wow, was he 370?
370 with abs. God
Deliver.
damn it.
Shake the bong.
Anyway, look,
Man.
Dwayne, it's always
sir.
a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogan.
It's
This
been
has
a
been
beautiful
awesome, man.
time.
Thank
TJ,
you, sir.
thank you very much for doing this, and
Absolutely.
thanks for helping me out today, man.
Shit,
It was
man. Thank you. I
really
appreciate
fun
it.
training with
This is
you.
awesome.
It was really fun getting to see you, you move with him and kick the bag, and your technique looks fucking sweet,
I
dude.
appreciate that.
Beautiful,
Guy's a
really
ninja.
fun. He's a serious
Yeah, he's
athlete, man.
badass. Today's ninjas
you
right
learn
here.
shit so quick, like showing you one thing and watching you duplicate it, and then 2 or 3 times later, it's like 50, 60% better. Like that's beautiful to say. You got the perfect environment for learning there.
Oh, yeah.
Team Alpha Male bitches
Hell yeah.
on the rise.
Bang zillions.
That's right.
The Bangzillion. DwayneBang.com, ladies
Yes,
and
sir.
gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
DwayneBang.com. You can get one of these super
My
dope
man.
and sexy t-shirts.
Nice.
I got 3 of them, bitch.
Good man.
Suck it.
Thank you, Mr. Rogan.
Thank you, brother. It was a great
sir.
time.
I don't even
Great
have
time.
3 of those. What's
And
up, dude?
they're
Dwayne
coming.
Bang.com on Twitter and TJ Dillashaw on Twitter as well. And TJ, how do you spell your name? Last name is Dillashaw.
There you
So
go.
TJ Dillashaw as well as on Instagram, same name. Love
yeah.
you, buddy. Thank you guys.
Thank
you
you,
very
Mr.
much,
Rogan.
man.
Love being
Good
here.
times. All right, we will be back tomorrow with the great Joey Coco Diaz,
Oh, nice.
and then Wednesday we return with Everlast in the
Oh, cool.
motherfucking house, bitch, which should be a great time. Okay, so Squarespace.com. Thanks to Squarespace. Use the code Joe8, save yourself 10%. And Onnit.com. Go to ONNIT and use the code name Rogan. And save yourself 10% off any and all supplements. All right, you guys, thank you for all the love online. And I say it always, but I really mean it. Like, I benefit from this show as much as you guys do. And so thank you to everybody tuning in and everybody's ever been on it. All right, you fucks. We'll see you tomorrow. Yay!